Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, so we are going to be messing around with some more elevators. I went and looked online to get some ideas of what people are interested in, and I thought maybe we could mess around with them and make them a little better or a little worse. maybe maybe more convoluted, you know? I am pretty sure that everything's working. I should probably double check though, because every time I think that, let me see here. Alright, so it did say hi. Yeah, if you guys don't know, I'm using a chat system that overlays over the top of stuff so I can see what's what. Alright, so here we are. I noticed when I looked this up earlier, I looked up, elevators, and I seen mine on there, and they were like 2-hour videos. I was like, I think that I'm in a whole nother category with what I'm doing here. I actually think it might be bad for me, honestly, because I used to just do tutorials and just hope I got lucky, but you know. So so this is the latest one that I seen, and I added a little bit of touches to it. This is all that you need for the elevator. It's basically, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 12 blocks exactly. And you either need or do not need this right here. I mean, you really don't need it. I actually think it might even be better with glass, because I really feel like I'm smashed in. I really do. I feel like I'm like suffocated in there. So anyway, I got it so that, you could just push a button and go up. Of course, you can see through. No doors or anything, which could be added, but it would be up to you guys. I don't even know who did the original. I think that, to be honest, I think this traces back to Mumbo and his first elevators, and then somebody took one piece of it and then was like, hey, why don't you do this? The most interesting elevators that I've seen are these flying machine elevators. One of the biggest issues with this one would be if you wanted to stop it at a different floor, you could only stop it from the front or from the side here with a double piston extender, which we've found out, and it becomes super convoluted. But if I was to put this green circuit over here, or just kind of put all the circuitry over here, we could make this a multiple floor design that goes up and down. I mean, it would be hella resource, heavy, but not as bad as you might think. So I was thinking of going to my multiple floor today and just building that. This one is there's too much involved in it. It's just good as a point A to point B right now. I don't see it it's too big, and it's got two pieces. So if we were going to make it, we would want it to be the simplest that we could make it. Now, this one is actually, I think, a super interesting elevator. I did it as compact as I could get it. I could mess with this a bit, I could mess with this a bit. But it needs a falling edge monostable. So it uses the Soul Stone, and it uses the magma cube. Magma. Uses the magma. So those two gives you different water mechanics. I kind of wanted to show you it, so you can see that almost immediately it goes from pushing up to pulling down. So we're going to go ahead and swap that over again. Now this is designed basically just when you go through, you basically go through and you got a certain amount of time. And you really launch out of there. I wish I had another camera to show you guys. So if you wait a sec, you'll see that after a time, the block swapper kicks in. And now we can just go down. And I think if you hold shift, or if you hold down, or swim down, and then it just automatically resets itself to go back up. This one is depending upon one single person. Obviously, I would say that the easiest way to do this, even though this is cool, this is for like a hermit server where it's just you. If you had two people, you'd want to build two of these, one up, one down. Just plain and simple. It's just easier. I mean, look at the resources it takes to do this. It's definitely cool, and if you guys like doing tutorials like I do, that's how I learned redstone, was by placing block by block. I'll say one of the biggest mistakes that I made, when I first started was by blaming the person that I was making it, blaming them. And if you play Minecraft, you got to realize that it's constantly being updated. It's constantly being updated. And so you're going to run into bugs. I believe even this one, there's some sort of bugs going on. Like this is the 1.14.3 instead of the 0.2. So anyway, so I wanted to show you guys this. So say somebody uses this and goes up, and you want it to come to you. All the versions I seen were just basically for hermit servers. They're not for your friends. And I will say that this is the maximum. I think this is the maximum amount of blocks that you can use. We have to count, but I don't think that these two count down here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 here. So we could technically make this a three high elevator. But now if I do this, it's going to actually need to have everything lifted up more by one block. But it's okay. We'll see where it lands. So so yeah, this is actually something I had thought about myself was, if this is the maximum, because I mean to check this we need to count. So we got one piston here, which I don't even think that this piston counts, but it does have to be pulled. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11. So we should be able to do one more block. And I'm just gonna go ahead. I mean, I don't think there's anything over here, but we're just gonna go ahead and stick it right there. I think that that might be. That's the maximum. That's the maximum amount of material. So one of the things I did think about that could be done would be to make this sideways. Make it sideways. Like right now you'd have to jump into it because we just changed the dynamics of the floor here. Because I wanted to make it 3 high, but in all reality what I was actually thinking was, is it possible to... Hey, what's up there, Lonnie? Or is it Lonnie? Lonnie Loden? Yeah, I think it's Lonnie. If I mispronounce it, just bear with me. I am pretty screwed up as when it comes to everything except for doing redstone, honestly. Okay, so we want to get rid of that. This should actually be up. Sounds like Lonnie. Lonnie. So we're just messing around with this kind of simple design here. Okay, so it needs to come up one more, so it would normally be there. So the question is, did I break this? Which I probably did. Okay, there we go. So this is the way that it's designed to be, like this. Now, I personally, I would like it to be, you know, a little better, but I'm gonna say let's go ahead and leave it like this. And so I have it so that I have it so you can call it up to you as well. Now this would be such a simple device, basically super simple to put doors on. And I mean, you could put the doors right here because there's nothing, you know, there's nothing going on. You could just have the doors come in, you know, and close. But I mean, it would defeat the purpose of it. Now, having these two simple circuits, you don't need these if you're on a Hermit server, obviously. I mean, I would honestly, you know, go as far as to say that I think it's not a minecart. It's actually, let's see if we can find it. It's actually a, my sensitivity's all jacked up. I don't know if it's under here or here. No, or here. It's not under there. Is it, what is this? Save toolbar F. I wonder, okay. I'm gonna need to figure out some of this stuff. So there is, I don't know what this lector is. I think it's just so you can set books on it. I'm not too sure. There is a, like a thing that assists you. There it is. This thing right here works kind of like water. I mean, I used to get water and we would basically... Whoa. Why is it doing that? That is weird. It's like I'm not allowing to be placed here unless you hold shift click. I seen a guy and he was like, oh, this is my elevator. He built a structure and then he put this thing in it. And I'm like, you know, it is pretty cool. I mean, you just basically hold shift on it and you can go down. Right? You hold shift on it and then if you want to go up, you know? The only problem is in a really big mine, you probably would get confused to where, you know, you'd have to look for colors or something. But I mean, that's basically a super simple design there. And if you want to grab it, you know, you break it and then boom, you got your... So that's a pretty, I'm going to say that's a pretty simple elevator. I think it's even simpler than a ladder, except for you can mine on a ladder. It's hard to mine, but you could mine on a ladder if you wanted to. Okay, so here's what we've done so far to this. We've basically made it so, one, the piston's not always activated, which is helpful, but can also run you into trouble. And then two, we've made it so that, you know, you can call it for when it's up or when it's down, and I'll show you guys that. So if you were up there, or say you were like somebody else used it, or maybe you forgot and you came a different direction and you didn't want to climb, I'm gonna go ahead and say though that this is more of a bling thing. I think this is more like, you know, hey, I got some bling, you know, because you don't really need it. And I will say that I did watch a video the other day and I watched the guy fall right through this. Which I'm going to go ahead and say there is a way to fix that for people, you know, and that would be to basically make this thing one down and add another block, which we've already established we could make this thing 3 high, right? We could make it 3 high, But for right now, I want to leave it because this is only for up and down elevators. So this is gonna sound funny, but if you notice, Mumbo's design's missing here, and it's actually because I actually deleted the world, and I had to go back almost 5 days. So from memory, I had to basically remember how to do this again, which I spent a lot of time redoing this circuit, but I feel confident that I got it. I have noticed that piston elevators are on the don't do them list, and I don't know why, honestly. I guess maybe if you're not mechanically inclined, or maybe if you just don't, you know, like I couldn't have done this when I first started. No way. After years of messing around with redstone. So Lonnie says, all your elevators are bling, but a blast to build and look at. Yeah, that's my whole thing about redstone. Is it's not just about, for me, it's not just about, like, I'm not really a huge fan of survival. I do like the new mechanics. I like how you can swing and hit more than one thing. I think those are awesome. I would say that they probably need to add slings in. That should be really easy to make. You just need some cobblestone, and maybe you can fling cobblestone at enemies. I would like to see spears where you can either stab or throw with them. Like maybe depending on what hand, like if you put it in your left hand, you stab. If you put it in your right hand. And I mean, you should be able to make them pretty long, right? But yeah. So I was messing around with a new down circuit. It's actually not my own. And I'll tell you, I know exactly where I got this from. It's actually from Cube Hamster. Cube Hamster had this. But I noticed that it gives me the exact same timing as this green circuit. And here's the thing about the green circuit, is it always has to be, like, it's not technically tileable. Like, you can't tile this. You could only tile it one block away, so it's not technically tileable. And neither is the red circuit. The reason why I made it red is to let you know don't put nothing near it, because it's a hot source. You can get power from anywhere you want to on it, as you can see right here. So yeah, so I was messing around with this, and I noticed that this is the one tick elevator, and I'll show you guys this. So it works more like C and B Minecrafts, except for it has the nice piston animation. So it's really fast. You don't really have to be centered, but it's super fast. That's all I can say. It's super quick. One thing I have noticed, that this is a bug that happened a long time ago, and that is this piston's going off at different times every time I go up. I'll show you guys what I mean. So this is on. This should retract first. Let's check it out. So we send it down. Right? You see how it retracted first? Now watch what happens when I call it up to me. Watch that last piston. It's perfectly fine, right? Now this is the speed that all of the pistons are on 4. Now watch what happens when I do this. See how slow it is? I don't know why. It looks normal on like maybe 3 ticks. Anyway, let's leave it on 4, and I'll show you guys when you leave it on 4 what happens. So this elevator has the same, it actually performs a little better than the green circuit that I have, and I don't actually know why. And you could technically, I mean, you shouldn't take fall damage on the way down, but I mean, it's a pretty nice circuit, and I could see why Cube Hamster used it on his original elevators. So, so yeah, so I put that repeater on, what, 1 tick, or was it, I put it on 4. Now, did you see that? The reason why that happened is because the piston extended so slow that it hit me, which I don't get, and it makes you, it's weird. So I also was on the Xbox, and I realized something, and that is they have definitely done something to piston mechanics in this last couple of updates, because every one of my elevators works that doesn't use a monostable. Which, my version 5 elevator, I need to do a patch tutorial. I just don't see anybody to do it, honestly. So I don't know. I mean, if I was getting requests. So this is probably my favorite elevator right now. And, yeah. As you guys can see, I mean, I put a lot of unnecessary effort into a design that people will probably never want. So just to show you guys this one, it's on the slower speed. It's not the fastest elevator, but like I said, I have seen people that cannot ride these. See how it throws me to the side like that? I'm pretty sure, like on this one, I have this on one delay, and then the timings that come from it right here, that's at one delay as well, which is like, why is it not working? Because I mean, we have one delay here. It should be the fastest thing in here, that piston. So let me put it on 4, and you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about. Now this happened back in the 1.4.8 or something, and this last piston, when powered, for some reason, if it would get butted, you know, and there's nothing there that should butt it, but you can't really see it. But watch. Look at how slow that is. It's the last thing to extend you, which usually causes you to basically hit it and then get thrown to the side. So, we're going to try the ride now. I think I have the timings absolutely perfect. So look, even though it's slower, you can see that it's working fine. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just the animation. Because this should technically be on 3. Seriously, it should be on 3. And, yeah. Anyway. Maybe that's why at the top I keep getting hit by it. Because maybe it looks delayed, but it's not. But this one is probably my favorite elevator right now. I will say that I'm not too happy about how this yellow circuit had to come out. Honestly, I'm not too happy about it, but it had to come through here and go underneath an area, and yeah, and you guys know how that works. But so it makes it come down. You know, I don't like digging down more than like 2 blocks for an elevator if I'm placing it somewhere. You know. And I actually could move this inward, but what would end up happening is this would have to be a repeater, and then I'd have to have it. It just would be ridiculous. So I just decided to keep it out one. It's all under the ground though, but I really do like it. I really do like it. It's got the doors, it's got the bells on it, it's got everything I like in it. All of the animation problems that I used to have are fixed. So I probably will do one. And then this is the same elevator we have over there, except for it's not the 1 tick, it's the 3 tick elevator. So this one pretty much works exactly the same. When you hit it, it calls up to you. You can see that there's some animation issues right there when it came up. I actually know why too. It's because back when I made this, I never thought about just using the power right here, and this will actually should fix it. It should fix that animation issue. Let's actually see. You only see the bad animation when you actually do the call down, and you can see that totally fixes it. I don't know why. We can also get our power from this, and instead of getting it from there, we could actually just use a piston. Seriously, we could just use a piston. Or I'm sorry, a torch. But this will work. I mean, it's one of my first, I'll say first designs on it. Yeah. first attempts at doing it. So anyway, so I really do enjoy and like this elevator, which is basically me just going. I like Mumbo's design, but I like to have buttons and stuff. Um, and I also thought, this could be made a little bit more compact. It really could be. I mean, one of the things that I like about this, which over the other ones, is that you can actually see, you can see both areas. You can see behind you, and you can see in front and behind. I think technically, if you really wanted to, because slime block is actually transparent, you could actually see through the side, but right here you can see the machine. You can see the machine going off, which I mean is cool. It's definitely cool. So, so I want to stick with the whole, let's make some modern elevators, modern elevator designs. I've seen one that has basically a seamless, it's a seamless piston design, and it's a very interesting design. Hey, what's up, Alpha? I did just notice that you comment. It says, "Hey man, I'm back." Alpha Dog says. So we were just looking at the simplest designs, and I found this one, like first off. I found this one first off, and what I wanted to do was the first thing I noticed about it is that once it's up, it has to stay up, and just by using a simple torch tower and I don't know 20 repeaters and about 20 redstone, you could get this little tiny design, which I think that if we were going to do a multiple floor, this would probably be the one we'd want to do if we wanted to stay as resource friendly as possible. So one of the things that I noticed when I tried to do it is that if you want to trigger this, you either have to have a piston coming down, So one of the things I was thinking about doing was actually doing this. So the biggest problem with this is that, so this is actually something I had thought about. I'm like, okay, so when this thing comes by, this slime block will grab a piston. So I could either leave a piston stuck to it, which would be kind of, stupid, or we could probably try to extend the piston out. The problem that I found was that you would have to basically do this. Like, this would have to be its natural state, and that would be for it to be extended, and then have some timings involved, so that when the slime block elevator comes by, it's an extended piston, so it won't get grabbed, right? So, but when it's in the perfect position, let's just say, because we can use a system to detect this really easy. You can still see me carrying this block up. So this was my idea, instead of using a double piston extender, except for this gets more complicated. So I would think a double piston extender would be the way to go if we were going to make multiple floors here. So the piston elevator comes by, right? Let me see. The piston elevator comes by, and it does its thing. Right, it comes on by, and then the slime block's no longer in the way. Then, right? Then what ends up happening is that once it's not detected, like say, because we would only want this when the elevator stops there. So what we'd want to do is we would want to actually have it basically like this. Now this would have to be an immovable object here, but we'll just use a block to show. So something like this. And so it comes out, and then we'll trigger, because it only needs to be pushed with a button. So like literally that's all that you would need to get it to take back off. Now we can kind of try it on here, but as you can see, if it doesn't get, I'm thinking if we wanted this design to work, it would have to be like something like this, where it's always on. Otherwise, the piston would get stolen. So, so how could we get delay? If I was to basically run, say, some redstone here, we could design it so that it's always by default like this, but when you press the button, you see that? So this right here, and we could make this smaller. It does not have to be, and I'm going to just grab some obsidian. I have never had a problem getting obsidian, and I mean you can even make generators and stuff. So anyway, so this would basically be fine, right? So what happens is you push it, it gets extended out, and so we can try this to see if it actually works right now. It's kind of big. What I'm actually thinking we could probably do is have the 2 ticks here. We'll make it 3 ticks, and then just as the design goes, we'll go ahead and put. Yeah, I don't think it matters whether it's like this or not. So we could literally just do this, right? Because it needs to be triggered here. So we have the obsidian block here now instead. So that way we can make this smaller. We can. I don't know. I don't think this would actually work. I think it has to be that wide. Yeah, it has to be that wide. So we would need this now. So something like this. Oh, it's powering itself here. I could do 3 ticks. And by doing this, it should trigger it, come back. I don't know. It might stop it, so we should probably check it here. And I'm thinking since I don't want. Well, I mean, it's not going to wreck much if it did do this. So, where would we want this to be? Would be the question. Let's try out this circuit, because all this is to get the elevator to take off, which. You cannot do. Like, the only way you can get it to take off is to basically have a piston come and touch it. It would be nice if you could, like, you know, say for instance, if you had obsidian here, if you had redstone and you powered it, it would actually detect it sideways, you know, or maybe detect it here. You know, like if you were to power this block, that would be nice, because then you could just get it to go up and down, but it doesn't work that way. Which I guess, you know, has its advantages. So what we would want to do is we would want. Okay, so this is where the elevator is going to be. Okay, so what? How would we want this? So I think we would want this here. No, we'd want it there. That there. And then green coming off like that. Now we're gonna have to make some design changes, obviously, because these torch tower here, which I could actually. We'll just disconnect it for right now. We'll disconnect it, and that way I can get rid of this torch. There we go. So we don't have to worry about it. And so this is what we got right here. We got 4 blocks, it looks like. And then we want it's not really a double piston extending block. It's so actually we have this at the wrong height. It looks like it needs to be up here. So I wanted to see if we could get something like this to work, and maybe make this because you can power this from up above. You know, that's the thing. And you know, the problem though is that it would have to be obsidian. But you could technically power it like this. So let me see if I can get it in a tileable design. So I'm going to leave that there for right now. We're going to go ahead and change this. So first off, we would always need it to be extended, which would mean no matter what, we would have to have a torch there. And I do know that if you just have a torch, like if I have a torch just sitting here, it'll get grabbed on the way up by this thing. To kind of show you guys. So anyway, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's get rid of this. And I'm thinking that we could basically, actually, yeah, it would be like this. And we could do that. This is going to extend out now. We want the obsidian there because the elevator is going to come by here. Yeah, it's going to come by here. And as long as it's extended, the piston cannot be took. I also think that, you know what? The only way that this would get grabbed would be on the way down. And so that's why we have to have it powered by default. So I'm thinking that something as simple as this would work. You know, we would have to get, it's going to get two different powers this way is the unfortunate. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll have redstone go in there. Can we do something else with this torch? I mean, I don't think that would power it. I mean, I'd like to put it here, but when you power this block, it's going to power the piston. We might be able to do something with the timings on that. Like, we might, because I'd like to make it like that. So maybe what we could do is have this on like 2 delay. Well, actually, let me see here. Yeah, that wouldn't work. So it has to be on less delay. This has to be shut off way before. Yeah, you can see that it's powering the piston so it can't move. And then it's powering itself now. So pretty much we have to have the torch here. That's unfortunate. It is possible to have the torch up higher though, which might be helpful. Because that'll still power it. Which, I mean, would make this thing a little bit less resource heavy. You could do something like that. And then all you gotta do is just send some power into this. Wait a minute. I forget how much delay I had on this. Did I have delay on this? Yeah, because this is going to get instantly powered. We don't want that. So we would want to have it go over here. Yeah. It's good. It's getting power, all the power it needs right there. So we don't want that there. Let's actually just do like this diagonal thing. It's going to get a block update there, but it might actually help us. Now it didn't extend, so we would need another. We would need another power source here. And then this would have to be down lower. We didn't want it to get powered by that. So let's see how that would work. This thing's got massive, huh? We got I mean, it's still in a 3 wide, but it was 4 wide before. So, I mean, so something like this could work. I don't know if it retracts quick enough is the thing. Let's try it on 2 ticks. Yeah. I'm thinking a double piston extender is the way to go, but let's try this. I mean, we can make a double piston extender that's actually smaller than this by far. Now, I mean, I could do this, and we could make this a teeny bit smaller. I just thought that this would be cool because it doesn't require the double piston extension, but it's more complex, I think. But I'd like to try it. Let's try it out. So unfortunately we cannot, I need to get rid of this here. So it looks to me like I'm gonna have to mirror it. So we're gonna need to do this. Everything else is the same, so 2 on that. And then we want to avoid this block. And then we want it to always be extended like so. And then we want this to come down here. Yeah, like that. So basically like this. It's just opposite. So yeah, it's too slow. It's too slow to trigger it. Well, I mean, it's actually, it would have to be going down. So this is the down circuit. Okay. I do believe it would work though. We need to build this on a separate system. I'm gonna go ahead and say though, like, you take a look at this, right? And then if we use a double piston extender, this is all that you need. And double piston extender, you just need 1 block here. The rest can be like this. And you can power this from up above or below, which is good. I actually need it to be like this. Yeah, it would be up here. Sorry about that. So yeah, it just would require power like this. And you can get your double piston extender to do the thing that we want it to do just by powering it from here. See? I think it needs to be powered from up above. Oh, I'm not using a sticky. Yeah, and then this would pass by and no problems. So we could definitely use this to stop and to start. Yeah. The biggest issue that you run into with this, if we were making a multiple floor, yeah, the biggest issue we would run into would be these circuits that I have here would have to be like they'd have to be like as far away as possible. You know, like just to give you room to get inside there. So I think if we're gonna mess around with anything, I think we should go to a different map. We should go ahead and go to my multiple floor, which I'm still proud of this. You know, I'm so proud of this elevator. I think with what I've learned, we could do some changes to it. Like I actually figured out a way to make this circuit where we can get the red circuit up against it. So, which is why I have this kind of just sitting here. You know, because we're not going to need it. Yeah, we're not going to need this. But the new circuit that I came up with was like this. So, and the reason why would be so we could just get our power. We could get our power directly off. Like if you look right now, I have some strange stuff going on. Unnecessary power times right here. And it makes this thing one wider. And we could get this red circuit in 1 block, which would give us the ability to move all of this stuff in by 1. Now I will say that no matter what we do, even if we move this in by 1, we are gonna lose some functionality, like because this purple circuit where it's at, it can't exactly be moved over, not without it interfering with this line here. So, but I mean, keeping that in mind, we could also make this circuit one wide once we do this, which would be awesome because that would take so we would basically get this thing in by one block and make it more compact. So this isn't a modern elevator, and I know that the thing says, hey, modern elevators. We are going to build a modern elevator here. I just wanted to show you guys this circuit. It's a new circuit. It's a purple circuit. And basically the way that it works is that it uses let me get rid of this. It's way smaller, so it's not as big. First off, so the very top would actually require it to be like this. But what it does is it makes it so that this is on 3 and then this is on 4, and you don't need this. And so once you power this area, you get an isolated, so that it gives you better timings. So you get everything that I got going with that huge purple circuit. That's basically 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 by however tall the elevator is. So it's basically 20 blocks worth of material, and then we've basically shaved off, it's like 18 blocks this way. So I do want to basically rebuild that elevator, but I'm going to use this one. Yeah, because when the elevator, the whole point of this is like, okay, if you look at this, like, why do we have a repeater here and then one here? The way that this works is that when you turn it on, it gives you 1 tick's delay on this redstone line, and then that redstone line comes in and powers it, and then it comes through here, and then it powers the next floor up here, right? And you want to have another repeater there basically with 2 ticks on it. So that way it basically goes 1, 2, 1, 2 like that, instead of going like this 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And so by doing this, by doing it this way, I'm actually thinking I would like to change this to orange now that we're here. Yeah, I would like to change this to orange. Yeah. So all we need is a repeater here on 3 delay, a repeater here on 4, some redstone, and then this will go into here, and that gives us a whole lot of functionality. Honestly, gives us a whole lot of functionality that we didn't have before. So basically, by cutting this down by 3 blocks, we'll be able to get rid of all of this. Like, we wouldn't need any of that garbage. Actually, all we would need would be 2 blocks like that and some redstone right here, and it will get powered off of the red circuit. So no longer would it doesn't even matter. Like, I don't need any of these timings on either side, which means we could basically lower this. Like, we cannot get rid of this piston no matter what we do, but we wouldn't need all of this material. So it'll be a huge value, saver. So basically, if you look at where that is, everything goes here, right? Yeah, and what it does is it makes it so you can get that circuit right up on it, right up next to it, and we end up using the red circuit to power the blue circuit, which just makes it, so much smarter than before. And same here, we can actually just for animation, and we can actually just get our power right off of the elevator right there. And because we'll use a pulse extender underneath the elevator, which I've already messed around with that. So I'll show you guys this, and then we'll go ahead and start that new one. So we want to basically put half slabs on the back of it like this. Not that it really matters to you guys, but I mean, it probably matters to somebody out there. But basically, we just end up with a much smaller circuit that does the same thing and helps us to bring the red circuit in. So yeah, we have our repeater here. Oh, that's not a repeater. We have our repeater here on 4. We have a repeater here on 3, and this is to give us the timing change, right? And we don't need these blocks here. Let me get rid of them. There we go. So yeah. So this actually is that, yeah, that's correct. So now we need blocks here. Yeah, this makes it so that when we do it, it becomes tileable, so we can actually stack some stuff there. So 3 ticks there. I don't think we need this. I'm gonna leave that there though. Now, one thing that does happen by doing this is it does make it so that you cannot put this elevator on its slowest speed. Which I'm going to go ahead and say that I think if somebody can't run this at its speed it's at, then you would probably want to. I mean, you can slow this down by half, you could, but you'd have to put this on full delay, and you'd have to basically put 1 tick of delay on each side of the red circuit. Anyway, so to show you guys what I'm talking about. So the red circuit has always been in a certain position here, and so what ends up happening is we end up getting, and you guys will see it here, we end up getting a 1 ticks delay here, and then we get 3 ticks delay here, which then powers this 3 ticks later. And one of the biggest problems that I have with this is that this repeater powers this, which then powers this, which basically in turn means the elevator goes, it retracts a hell of a lot slower. It does, it retracts a hell of a lot slower than it should, because when this one depowers, and then by the time this one comes down, it depowers. Sometimes they stay powered a little longer, and I'm not even sometimes, it just depends on what speed you have. So it just wrecks everything if you really want to know. So by doing this, by having our red circuit here, not only do we get 1 block space back, yeah, we get 1 block space. We'll also get one more block in the back, which is cool. Yeah, I figured if I don't do this now, I'll forget. So I was like, if I do it now, I'll be okay. So we actually want to bring this down 1 more. So this is going to be ground floor. Like that's as far down as we'll need. And this is going to be where we get all our power to. So I usually power it right here. And that goes into a torch. Well, you guys will see it here. So when it comes up, it does. Did I power all of these? No, I did not. So we just basically put some redstone. So yeah, we end up saving like 4 pieces of redstone and 1 whole repeater by doing this. We've already added in a repeater, so we might as well try and save some. Yeah, this repeater right here now serves the function of giving you better timings. So if I could explain this to you, basically each time this does its thing, when it first gets power to this block, when this gets powered, it takes 1 tick of delay before it extends this, which gives you 5 ticks, right? And then the piston extends out and goes up, right? And then meanwhile, the next floor is going to do the same thing at a 3 tick delay. So if you look at this, so 3 ticks plus 4. So you end up getting absolutely immaculate timing that's not being interfered because we're no longer powering it like this. And when you do this, when you power this, it powers both of these. So usually though, because it's coming from the top up, it doesn't matter. But I will say when the power gets shut off, you end up getting a lot of delay, which gives you really bad piston animation, which is why CMB Minecraft's elevator, it's almost impossible to fix without changing the circuit, which makes it wider. But anyway, so that's that. And now that I got that, now I was thinking about using that new green circuit on here, except for the problem with the green circuit is, at least on this circuit, these places, you know, you can send power through them. So I can't get rid of this combination yet. I mean, eventually I'm gonna find a better way to do this signal, send a signal up and down. But yeah, this is pretty much it. It works pretty good though, I'll just say. Yeah, it works good like this. Yeah, it's nice and smooth, and it fixes a lot of bugs, a lot of problems that I was having. You know, it really does. It fixes a lot of problems. Yeah, all of this stuff that comes through here for the doors is probably still needed, but not on the bottom floor. The bottom floor, at least the bottom and the top floor, will not require any of these timings. So this one has my old circuit, so this one has the newer one that uses signal strength instead. So we'll be swapping that over, but let's go ahead and start our multiple floor elevator. I would like to give us some space between here. So this is where we should be lined up, I think, but I want to make sure. So this is where our floor is. So I want to kind of make this at the same height. That way when you compare them, you can kind of go, okay. And we want to keep it quite a distance away. Those structures, those things over there, I mean, I got 32 chunks rendering on. Yeah, those chunks though, we need to be a little bit away from them, so I think it doesn't matter because they're going to get rendered regardless. But okay, so this is going to be our floor. We're going to make it so that's where our device is going to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think I'm going to maybe use I think I'll just stick with the sandstone look. Yeah, I don't know why, but I've always liked sandstone. I even build my my homes in deserts because you know, on survival, I don't like rain. You know, I like rain in real life, but not in the game. So this is where we're going to be building our our contraption. So basically, that's going to be the top. So this will be the top, and this will be the bottom. And we'll connect our sticky pistons to it. If you guys are following along, not that anybody is, but if you are following along, I'll do this really slow so we can do it together. So first off, I just need to get some slime. What is this, a slime spawn egg? Ooh, I didn't know you could spawn slime in. Okay, so we need this. We need this like that, and then so that's 2, 4, 6 blocks, And then now, oh yeah, no problem, no problem. So let me get the stuff we're gonna need. So we're gonna need a sticky piston, slime block. We're also gonna need a furnace. Oops. We need a furnace. It's actually my preferred immovable object, but I'm going to go ahead and say we're rich, right? I mean, I think making a furnace is cheap, but I also think mining up obsidian, it does take a bit of time. So in a survival, I think, you know, I know that there used to be a way to break these, but so we're going to need an immovable block. If you guys want to know what that is, if you don't know, it means that it cannot be moved by a piston. It cannot be moved. You can see it will not move it. And if you do this, whenever it's next to slime, the slime will go right past it as though it's not there. And so that's one of the ways that these piston elevators work. So all right, so first thing we need to do is under the slime, we're going to need to place a piston like that, right? And then we're going to need to place another piston like that, and then slime, right? Okay, so I need an observer block. Oh, wait, yeah, there it is, observer. And what the observer block does is, you know, it just detects when blocks are moving. So you want one facing down like that, and you want one facing up like this. So you can see so you can see that it just kind of took off. So I should have probably I should have probably not done that. So I would say if you do add that and it's taken off into the sky right now, grab a piece of obsidian and just stick it on top of it so it doesn't mess your stuff up. Okay, so now we just need to figure out what height we want to go. So I'm going to go ahead and use sandstone here. And this is where we want it to be. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So basically, I need to bring this up by 2 blocks, and we're just going to go ahead and there we go. Okay, so that's how we want our elevator to stop. Now we need to do the same on the bottom. Now I'm just going to guess it. So let's just set it right there and see what happens. I think that this is going to come down and the piston is going to hit it, and that should stop everything. So this is how you activate it. You know what, I just had an idea. This is going to sound crazy, but we can carry a block. What if, I mean, it's going to take the block, but if we want to stop the floor, and I'm sorry to interrupt anybody that's following me on this, but so if it's like this, right, it's fine. So if the elevator stops here, but we want to start this, all you'd have to do is take the block and it would send it down. And it would be the same as going up. And basically what I'm saying is that you could leave the block there and just have the piston already waiting to grab it. I'm going to actually leave this here just so I remember. You guys aren't going to need that. I'm just sitting there thinking that this is probably the easiest way because we have enough material. Like, this is all that we need for this entire thing. So something I would like to do, I think, is make this 3 high. It is claustrophobic for me. So we need to have an immovable block underneath this piston. And we got 1, 2, 3 blocks height to the floor. So yeah. So now we're going to go ahead and activate it. There we go. So yeah, I definitely think that will work. So look, so these 2 blocks never ever lift anything. This one lifts all of these blocks right here. So it lifts 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. So we could technically carry 2 more blocks. And so what I'm actually thinking is, if we always had a block being carried and then the pistons were always extended, at any moment we could basically do just send a really fast pulse into it, like say from an observer. And I'll show you guys what I mean. So basically, if it was here and it was on top of it, all you'd have to do is just basically send a quick pulse. Why is that not working? Oh, it's not quick enough. Oh, that sucks. You can't do 1 ticks in there no more. What about this? Yeah, so the block would actually... I'll have to try this. We're going to have to try this, but I think this would work. I mean, it would work on the bottom as well. But we're not going to do that today. What we're basically going to do is we're basically going to just build it. So underneath the observer, it doesn't matter. It's going to take off when we do this. We're just going to put a dab of redstone. Alright. Dab of redstone. And so we are no longer stopping on the 10th block because we made this one higher. As you can see, that block I was telling you about is actually been moved. So let's go ahead and... So there we go. Actually, I think this got moved. I think this got moved somehow. Maybe the block on top of it moved it. Maybe we can't have the block there. I want to try it again. Maybe, I don't think you can pull a slime block away, but let me see. Will it screw it up? Yeah, it stays on there, and it should stay on there on the way down as well. Because that's going to be our way down right there. So, this is basically what you want to have. Right underneath the elevator. You don't need this, by the way. You don't need any of that. We should probably build the other side to this. Now, I was tempted to make this out of glass. Yeah, I actually think it might look better with glass. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I'm making this at 10 high because we're going to go another 10 and make another floor. Because this is going to be a multiple floor. So, but for right now, we're just going to bring it up to here so we can get this kind of, I say, mini tutorial. And you have a couple options here. I personally like to just have regular glass, but a lot of people like the pane. And of course, you could, whoops. A lot of people like colored or stained glass, which does look pretty cool on elevators. But most people, I've noticed, really enjoy this on here. It looks cool. I don't know what to think about it. I was like, I'll try it. You know, I'll try it right now. But the thing that I notice about it is you could actually get stuck in here and get pushed forward, but this isn't exactly that fast, so it's fine. But it looks cool, right? I don't like it, the fact that it's stained, though. Let's try non-stained glass. So, glass. I thought this was a non-stained. It just says pane of glass. Let's see, is it? Okay. Well, I must have picked white for some reason. If you want to make it look cool, this is definitely a way to make it cool looking. Even if you have regular blocks, but I just think it's I definitely like it. Oh, what the hell? I don't need to go back that far. Kind of makes it look more like a trolley or something, I think. You know? Six blocks away, and then I'm going to go ahead and use... see. I have birch, and I have the sandstone already. Okay, so... there we go. Okay, so I think I like the way that this looks, and you'll be able to see, so if you can imagine when we're going in the elevator, it's going to be like this. You're going to see, be able to look left and right at least. So something I'm going to recommend if you have a bad computer, or if you're on like console, it is possible to get glitched through the floor. And so I actually came up with this myself, which just basically just put some slime there. And this way, if you ever did fall through the floor, this is what would happen. Oh, whoops. That's not where we want to be. Yeah, it would be here. If you ever fell, you would just bounce, right? As long as you didn't move, right? If you freaked out, it's over. Okay. So, most people in the that I've seen that do this tutorial, they have they have a sticky piston, and that sticky piston is basically pointed downward like this. But it has to be extended, right? So we can't do that, but I'm going to show you how I made it. So so basically this sticky piston needs to be extended all the time. So the way I did it on the last elevator, the one on the other, was I basically put a black wool. We might as well do both floors right here. And I put a wooden button. It could be also a stone button if you don't like buttons. But like that, right? And then we basically are going to... I don't think we need any more of these building materials. So now I just need to pick the circuit. So I usually use red for up. I think I'm going to use orange for down. And I think I'm going to use yellow for the other circuit that we have. So to get this to be an up and down elevator, the first thing we need to do is just get it to go up and then down. And so how you do that is by powering this piston here. So this is going to be part of the up circuit. So you just need a repeater. Now, here's the thing. We're going to need some time on this. So I'm going to say that at least 4 delays, so that way you have enough time to get into it. So basically we're going to have this set up. So now we just need to take this all the way down and see where it lands on the floor. So it's like right there. Right? Let's give you guys a high-res view. And then we're going to want to basically, I like to do this myself. So what's going to happen here is that we can get power from 2 different sides and not affect affect our elevator. So now we just need to do this. Knock these out. Every other. It looks like I screwed this up because of my height, so we'll have to change it around a little. Okay, so yeah, we kind of want to keep the same thing. You can see that they're both matching up wrong. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to change this to be the opposite. We want it to be like this. Sorry for me changing it. Now one way we can power this, which is actually going to be necessary regardless, is like this, right? So this is only going to be for going up. So only when we power it up are we going to need this, and we're only going to be powering this up from the other side. So we won't need this repeater right now. We could just simply do this for right now. So now what we need to do is figure out. This one works out perfect. Actually, this one works out wrong. This one works out good. What we actually want to have happen here is we want to have the torch always off. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do like a little swap. So if we put a torch here and then here, it'll give us that, you see? So now we need to power this piston. Now this one's always on, so we're going to go ahead and invert it. Now most people, I'll say, if you're going to make this, you would want to keep this always. You'd want to keep it always like that. And the reason why is that way it could never be moved. Right? This should turn that off. Okay, it's getting updated. Yeah. So let me go ahead and let me go ahead and get rid of those blocks. That's pretty funny. I made this 3 high, so it's a little different than the first one I made. What the hell is this? Okay. So we're gonna need an immovable block there, right? Let's send it up first. So just to show you guys how this is gonna work, when we want to send this up, we need to send the signal downward, and usually we could just use. Let me actually see exactly how I did it on this other one. I don't want to foul it up. Yeah, I used torches here, and then this. I wanted to do it different on this next one though. You can see it's pretty much the same design. We got a furnace here instead of obsidian, and it's like I said, it's only 2 high. So I think we might have to do the same thing. I think we may have to go with torches and then just repeaters on the top. I kind of want to change it though. Yeah, I want to change that. So it would actually be it actually has to be the torches, unfortunately. So since this is going to be the up circuit, and then you just go 2 blocks down, and then the redstone will get powered by that, and then we could just basically have it go directly in. So we will need this here after all. And we could actually get rid of this now and just go like that, because that will still work. So this is probably the best thing, like that. So now we kind of want some delay on it so we can actually get into it. So we have an opportunity to put 1 repeater's delay there. 1 repeater's delay. we could technically bring this over here, but and get our power just straight across, which would be cool, except it would just be sending it. It would only call it down. So one of the cool things about this is when you hit this, it's gonna go up, and then when it's up, it comes down to you because you're sending the power in the same exact location. So we just are missing our piston here. Which I still want to use that system I was showing you guys down there. But for those of you that are making this, you know, on yours, because this should work on everything Xbox 360. So now that we have this, you can basically, it has to be an immovable block. So like that. And then we're going to need a non-sticky piston like this. So it should travel down. Maybe you guys didn't, maybe you did. Now we don't have a down button, so that's our next thing, which I'm going to go ahead and use orange for this. So we have the redstone come across, and we need to come out to at least right there. And so now we're going to want to make a three wide area of blocks. Not like that. And just bring it to right here. Now we can kind of skip a lot of this stuff by going like this. It shouldn't matter how it works out here. It really shouldn't. But this is the basic pattern we need. And then just to make it look cool, I'm going to go ahead and put it underneath there. Okay, so it's really up to this. So we probably want it going like this to go down, but we have to invert the signal. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and put a torch here, and that way it's inverted, okay? It's because we don't want this always having power in it. So now we want to have a repeater go in here, and then a repeater go in there, and I want to show you how this works. So this redstone is going to power this block, the power is going to travel through the redstone, and then it's going to go through here, and then that's going to go through this block, which then is going to go through here, and then you guys can see. So basically you just want to point them every other direction, and we'll test it here before we hook it up to anything. So right there is where we should see light, but so it's the same thing. So redstone goes through here, travels down here, then goes through here, travels down there, and then it goes through this line, goes through here, so on, and then it goes through there. Right? Oops, sorry, it actually goes through here. My bad. Confused myself. The way I usually remember is always put it below the repeater that's facing, you know, that way. Never put it, because you can save redstone. If you're not sure, this is the best way to do it, and that is to just go ahead and power this. Just power it like, I would say just do this. Yeah. It looks like we got power automatically to this. So hopefully your elevator didn't get screwed up. So yeah, mine's working. If yours is not, just check to see if any of these are dark. You know, if you missed it, it would look like that. So you could put it here, it's not going to power. You could put it up here, it will power, but it's not going to power anything. But if you put it right there, will power the whole thing. Hopefully anybody watching that's following me. So this is basically done for those of you that you know want it. So basically this button basically goes like this. It goes up and it goes down every time. It doesn't matter. And so what that means is you would technically get a clock. So yeah. So we're not getting anything happening. This piston is absolutely butted because of this. So I actually think this is funny because I think that we need to move this. I think that this actually has to be here. It has to be there. And I'm just going to go ahead and just recommend to you guys that you do this. Seriously, just do that. And the reason why is that it's going to get messed up. Okay. So I don't know why that was getting butted. It shouldn't be getting butted. It should actually retract. Because the way I had it before, what's messing this up is that this is 3 high. So I don't think it can move. But it needs to be right there. But as long as it's extended, it should be okay. Let's try putting an immovable object there. Let's try putting an immovable object there. And I'll power it from the side instead. Yeah, it should always be extended, but when you hit this button, it should not be extended, which means it's actually updating itself. Okay, so I say we're gonna have to power this differently. It took the piston with it. Okay, so we definitely want it to be extended. We do. We want it to be extended. We go ahead and call it back up to us. Okay, so what we're running into here is that it's correct where it is, but the power that we're getting, the way we're powering it, is wrong. So we're going to have to basically do this. It's going to have to be along the side here. And that way, when it gets powered... Now, I'm just going to double check to see if this will work now. It's not hooked up on the down circuit. There we go. So it's working now. Okay, so now we just need to basically put a torch here, and it should work like this. I don't know why that wasn't working on the sides. It worked on the other one directly above and getting powered from above. I know that you can get kind of like a redstone block thing happening with it. So it has to be extended if you're using 4 slime like I am. If you're only using the 3, you wouldn't need to do it. Okay, so let's actually check it. And it took the piston with it. I think that's hilarious. It's hilarious. I wonder if it'll take it back up. Yeah, I think... So, to show you guys, I mean, I know if you guys have been following this, I'm not going to be using this system. I'm going to be using this system, which is going to be different. So, you guys will not need, you know... I mean, unless you guys want to do it too. But I would say that you should probably keep this too high, and you won't have this problem happening to you. I'll go ahead and show you what I mean. If you keep it too high here, like that, when it comes up, the obsidian block can be here. I'm going to leave that one there just as a reference. And so when it comes up to you, and you have your piston here, it's going to be extended, but while it's retracting, the elevator will have already moved. So you don't even really need to keep it powered, honestly. You can actually power it as you need it. So technically you could just do this. I'll show you guys. So when we power this piston, it will stay, and it doesn't have to be extended. It can actually not, it doesn't have to be extended. So you could basically just have it like that, and it would work. See? It stays extended long enough to where there's no way it's ever getting grabbed. But if it's how I have it, which is 3 high, I think I had glass there because I wanted to see everything. What's up, gaming dragon? What's up? Okay, so we want to keep it 3 high, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this, and then we're gonna want to, I'm not gonna want any of this because we're gonna be making this multiple floor, or at least trying to make it multiple floor, and I want it to be 3 high. So there we go. So this is the first floor. So we just got floor 1, floor 2. So we'll need to figure out how to stop this, which I'm going to say the only way to do that is with a double piston extender. But we do have this system, which I think is going to actually help us here. So if we make it carry a block, we can actually start the system. We can start this by, yeah, we can start it. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll be able to start it by just grabbing the block and putting it back in really fast. So let me go ahead and switch this. So I was using an observer, but we're going to want it to only get 1 pulse in there when we do this. So there's a couple of ways we can do this, which would be to get it to go off. I actually think it's actually kind of a big circuit if we were to do it. And it would only work. It would only work once. Like it would, you'd hit it, and then only when it's powered off would it do its thing. Because you want it, we want this to carry the block. That way we can grab it at any time. So I'm hoping that this system works, because then we won't have to use a double piston extender to get this thing to take off. This isn't going to work, by the way. Not where we have it, but I want to see if we can get what we're looking for, because we're going to want this on the top and bottom. We're going to want a block on the top and bottom. The one that gets pushed, that's probably going to be a problem. I think that we'll have to use a double piston extender to make it go up no matter what. But so I think if we did this, we want to basically create yeah, we would want to create a timing of just 1 tick's difference. But this 1 tick doesn't work on here. It doesn't get recognized by torches anymore. So I mean, this would basically just give us a pulse extension. So what I'm going to have to do is basically have it like this. I think this is how it needs to be done. Something like this. So there we go. So that's all that it would take, is something as simple as this, basically, and you just push a button and it'll start it. So let's get rid of this, and I'll rebuild it up here, and we'll see if we can use that as the down circuit. It's kind of big though, considering that we got to stop it too. These cannot be here. So I'm going to have to remake these. I'm actually thinking that the best way to do this, if we're going to go multiple floor with this so it can stop and start, is to just get them away from everything right now. So I'm thinking that this should be plenty. This should be plenty, and yeah. So we could basically just have some power going through here, and we can get as much delay as we want to now. So like 4, that should be fine with some redstone. Something like that. So we just want to get it away, you know, away from everything. We'll still need that input on the bottom because it's just easier. Okay, so alright, so we're gonna have to do something like that. Which means we can still get our repeaters. But yeah, so let's check out the torch on it. So 1. Okay, so we're gonna have to do another inversion here. I think I would like to have this a repeater, just so we can keep the blocks we already have. And then we're gonna send the power from this over to that system. And then we're going to do the same with the orange. I think that we should definitely try and keep it where it's at, but we'll just flip it on its side here. So I'm going to go ahead and just this way, if we're going to do multiple floor, we know that we have our input lines in. Yeah, we'll know that we have them in. And I think that we want to start out with a repeater going that way. We'll go from the bottom up on this. Like I said, if you're not sure how this is going to work, I'm going to bring this up one more, because I would like the repeater to basically be so like that, that, and that. There we go. Yeah, so if you're not sure, just test it and see if the power's going through. You can see ours made it all the way down. Yeah, it's all about those repeaters. Like, you know, you just got to imagine the power is going to go traveling through this block, and then it's going to be powered down here, and that's going to do the same. And it's going to come down here. Sorry, it's going to come down, you know, it's going to go through here like that, and then it's going to do this. Everywhere I'm plotting my crosshair, that's how the power travels. It's about a 1 tick delay, but I'm going to say that this can actually be tiled upon, which is good. What I mean is you can actually put another circuit next to it if you wanted to have another circuit. And as long as the repeater is here, it won't ever power anything. Yeah, because so it's the only tileable circuit as far as I know down. There are easier ways, like you can use slime blocks to basically push down 12 blocks, which is you know, good. But it's not that much to make repeaters and redstone. I think it's cheaper because I used to have about 2 chests full of redstone, you know, and only when I started making redstone projects did I actually start getting rid of it. I also used it for potions as well, but so we basically have plenty of room now that we have these to the side. One of the things I think I might have made a mistake on is I might have needed to have this over a little bit. If it starts interfering, I'll have to get rid of it. So the next thing we need to do is that this is where we need our double piston extender so that the elevator will stop when we want it to. But first, let's actually call it up to us. You guys can see that I did it 3 high. Now I want to use this system, and we want it to have the block on it all the time. So I'm going to need to do that, and I'm going to use, I'm going to use pink for this circuit, like so. So I have it like this with a torch, and it's a sticky piston, right? Yeah. And then we have now I might want to face this out, honestly, but I think to the side should be okay. So redstone here and here. 1 tick on that. Torch. And then a repeater on 4 ticks delay. I think technically we only need 3 on this, but it wouldn't be recognized. Oh, it is recognized. Okay. So that would give us the fastest timings possible. Yeah, we could actually bring this in one, but then it would be one wider. So now we just need to check this. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a block on there, and we want that block to always be carried around by the elevator. So let's go ahead and call it back to us. And so the red line would actually want to be hooked to this input. So I could basically just have it facing that way. Ooh, it's not working. That's not good. Let's try it slower, maybe. How about we just pull the block off? Ooh, it's still extending because of that. So in this case, if this is how it has to be, it's actually simpler. So basically we would not want the piston to be extended, and we'd want it to carry the block here instead. Actually that wouldn't work, would it? But it would end up carrying the block. So this is not a system that we can use. We can't use this. If we're doing multiple floor, there's no way. We're going to have to stick with the humongous piston extender, which sucks. But, because we're going to need a double piston extender to stop it. We're going to need a double piston extender to do pretty much everything we want to it, honestly. Okay, so I will go ahead and design that. So we're going to want our double piston extender to be like that. Then we're going to need an immovable block there, and then some redstone, repeater, like that. And then we would just need to power it. The only problem that I found is that when you power it, it has to be like this, or it gets screwed up. So this should actually get it to be, there we go. So that's what we're going to have to make it go up and down, which means this thing's going to fill up with lines all over the place. But you know, so did that elevator. The first one I built was humongous. But we've already figured out how to make it one block smaller here and here. And that's going to be a huge difference. Yeah, if you take a look, it's already looking like we've gotten rid of so much. So I'd rather work on this because piston elevators are my favorite. But I do like this design. And I think it is simpler. I still think that we're going to want to move this far away from it. Seriously, I think we're going to want to move it far away. So we basically have our double piston extender. The block thing is not going to work. It's not going to work. And then we also are going to need to do the same thing. I'm gonna stick with red for the when it comes to the circuit that's sending us up. It actually worked out nice here, though, I'll say. So we wanted 2 repeaters here on 4 ticks of delay. And that'll send that down. It'll send the signal up. And then we just need to basically get that power and send it down. I would say that there's a lot of room here down on the bottom. So I'm actually thinking... we could just basically take and do this. So we have 2 torches here. We actually don't need that one. So just something like that. You know, actually, I think I would like it to be like this. Honestly, it just looks cooler. I like that better. So we're gonna get 2 ticks of delay here. Okay, so let's see if the 2 ticks is enough. Let's see. I need to get rid of some of these blocks. I don't need all these. We definitely need the obsidian. We're gonna need glass. We don't need the gray wool. We definitely need that. We're gonna need that for buttons. We don't need white. I don't see us to need more than a couple of circuits, so we aren't gonna need all these colors here. Gonna need redstone blocks. Gonna need slime blocks. We're gonna need our building material. We might need to make a hopper flop. I'm going to say I don't think we need gray, but yellow is probably the next circuit we're going to use, honestly. So we got red, these pistons, and we don't need obsidian. Just kind of clean out the old inventory there. I leave the redstone because sometimes we need to fill up chests and stuff. So that's going to be the next thing, is that one thing cool is that we can get a detection system going from this. You know, I'll show you guys what I mean, is that all we need to do is place a chest or something here full of items, and then on this side we can get the power from it. So we can basically create an indicator light system by doing that, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to use the maximum blocks. I also thought, if for some reason you ever wanted to stop, so this is carrying 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it only needs one more block to stop it. So if you were in it and you happen to have some blocks and the thing started going crazy, you could basically just try and plant a block and it should stop. Okay, maybe it's not. Okay. Okay, so it looks like it can carry more than that. Well, how much can it carry is the question. If it's, I think maybe it's 12, so 13 blocks is where we would have to stop. I wish, I kind of wish that you couldn't see the slime, but we'd have to make this so much bigger. Okay, so next thing to do would be to determine our next floor. So we've got, I'm going to go ahead and put this here. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that should be our next floor. We definitely want to keep it the same. If we don't, we'll regret it. We'll regret it later. So, do I have this 4 high here? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be okay. Okay, so we're going to be getting rid of this. And then we're going to need another double piston extender to basically extend. This is why I think that we should probably actually have this over here. Yeah, I think we should have it over here, because we're going to get power from here, and we can kind of take the power and have this kind of do a loop. But I think I want to keep it. I'm just going to keep it there for now, but we're going to need a double piston extender to extend here from the side. So let's go ahead and use purple for that. So double piston extender. We're going to want it to basically extend right there. So in order to stop this thing, that's going to be our input line. Actually, it's going to have to. It has to have a. It's one of the reasons I don't really like it too much. So when we select our floor, we're going to need a T flip-flop to turn this off or on. So for right now, we're just going to use manual method because I'm not sure this is where I want it to be. Yeah, so this will give us the extension. So when we want the elevator to stop, we'll want this to be extended. So basically, like that. Let's go ahead and send it down, and we'll send it back up, and just to show you guys that it should. Oh, wait a minute. This is what we want to push right here. I actually want to see that. See that? There we go. So if we had the floor selector, which I mean we could put it anywhere we want to, it's starting to look like we could probably put all of our circuitry over here. I definitely think the orange circuit can be over here for sure. And we could probably kind of make these lines a little sleek, but it's already looking like we're going to have our floor stops here. And then when we want to stop on the way down, that's where we're going to run into some problems because we can't stop on this piston. It's not going to be the same one every time. So, so now I need to make another double piston extender at the right height. So up above our floor, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks up. So let me double check that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Guess I might as well make the next floor, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. We'll know that's where that is. So hopefully this is in the right spot. If it's not, then yeah. So go ahead and grab purple. We're going to need this. There we go. So we activate our T flip-flop and it will shut the floor off. So now we'll stop on the 3rd floor. So now we just need to call it. It should stop level with the floor, hopefully. Yeah, it's level. We're carrying a block. I don't know where I got that from. Oh, I see right there. Okay, so we're going to want to make sure that that's an immovable block as well. Okay, so we're going to want to continue our torch tower up. And we'll just bring it up higher than we need. Because we only actually need to have our next double piston extender. It needs to be... It actually needs to be there. And we are using pink for that, huh? Okay, so all right. Now we just need to make sure that this works out. So the idea here is to basically, when you hit the button, every single double piston extender is going to extend, right? Every single one of them. And so we'll want to make sure we're getting the power from the right location, which we actually are. So each time we use this, every single one of them is going to fire, which could be a problem when you go from here to here. Is it possible that it would catch it? I don't think so. It only takes one tick every 2 blocks to get that up there, so it should never be able to catch it, so we should be okay. So basically, if you push it from down here, it should make it go down. So you just hit the button. It doesn't matter where, you just hit it. And it should come down from any floor. All of them will extend, but it's fine. Okay. And then we're going to want to have the same thing. We're going to want to steal the power and get it to go down this orange circuit. We're not going to do that, though, just yet. I think 3 floors is probably good enough, I think, just to prove the concept. So we're not going to build another floor. But I'll have these torches here just in case. We'll just do 3 for now. We can kind of compact that. Because if you can do 3, then you can tile it. You guys can see that this is actually, this can be just infinitely expanded. So we're going to basically do the same thing. It's the same thing at a 6 block spacing. Okay. So we're going to have to move the down circuit over here. And then we're going to have to figure out how do we actually want these buttons. So I like the call button right here. Like you go, bloom, and it's going to come up to you here. I like that. But we are going to have to figure out our floors. So we're going to want to have everything on this side for right now. So we're basically going to want to have our, selector floor system here. Like, oh, okay, we want to go there. I'm thinking that I would like to do, let's see. We'll do red, white, and blue for our floors. So this would be ground floor 1. So red, white, and blue. It actually looks French. Ho ho! This is French design. I think we have it a little far away, don't you think? Like, shouldn't it be like right here? I mean, we can't have it there, but we can have it there. Yeah, I think. I like it. We could technically, I mean, this is gonna sound crazy, but we could actually have these just flat on against the wall. We could. I could move the inputs around, and then we wouldn't have this. I mean, all that's gonna be here is a couple of torches and some towers that go down. That's it. There's not gonna be anything else, This is just to stop on floors. You only hit it when you want to stop or, stop on a floor. That's it. It's the only time you ever hit them. So should we put them there? I'm actually thinking this is probably the perfect time to go ahead and say there is no reason to have the down circuit over here. It's too far away to hook up to anything to make any kind of good So we should move it over. I do know that we're gonna need the input here anyway. It's gonna get sent up. Do I have that floor active? Okay. I was never there. Okay. So, down circuit. Should we... I think that we should probably keep it going this way. I mean, this thing's going to be really long. I'm actually thinking what we're going to end up doing is basically having all the circuitry facing this way at some point. But, I mean, if I decide to do that, I'm basically just going to take the elevator and just take it and then spin it this way. It'll be easier than moving all the circuitry. Also, once we have it hooked up, I can already tell that, you know, as far as stopping on a floor, we have plenty of room. So we may not want to build the down circuit just yet. But I'm going to go ahead and do it. We're going to go ahead and make it over here. Let me put these buttons in first, though, because we want to actually have... Yeah, I don't know if... I'm telling you, like, there's no reason to have them there. There's no reason to. We could have them here. We could go red, white, and blue. Just have the selecting panel system there. I mean, it's not very hard for me to go like this. You know? I would say that the biggest problem with this is that it would now become torches. And so if I wanted to say, okay, I want to go down to ground floor, and we want to hit that button, this would actually get in the way. So we would probably have to... I only think we need 2 of these. So technically... Yeah, I do think I would like to have the button panel right next to... I definitely think it would be better there. So you basically, you come over here and you're like, I wonder what I want to do here. Yeah, we can switch this stuff around. The thing is, we're gonna need room, so we're gonna need like this, and we're gonna need to have it. The first floor is not gonna have to be hooked up on this one, but those 2 definitely need to be hooked up to torch towers to activate our thing, which looks like we might end up having to take them out some. Yeah. So now we just need to... I say we could probably do this. We could probably go torch. Like that. And then go another torch. And then kind of keep with the same design here. We can get rid of this. Could basically have... repeater there. Could have something like this. And then this should give us plenty of opportunities, I'll say. Technically, we'd want to do this. And then have this way we could keep them separated and just use redstone. It only costs some blocks. Something like that. Something like that will work. So now I need to do the same here. So we're gonna need to... We're not gonna need... actually, we will not need floor 1 ever. So we'll always be able to do this. I might as well try to keep it the same, huh? So we only go down 2 and then to a line of redstone. So, like that. Yeah, it's actually or 2 torches, huh? 2 torches. We could technically come back this way to give us a little bit more space. Yeah, we aren't going to need anything down here. This might come into a problem, though, down here. It might run into something. Let's go ahead and keep it on this side. If I got to change it in the future, I will. But we should only need 2 repeaters worth. So I'm actually thinking that we're going to want to... well, that's not going to work. We are going to need it to be over here. The reason why is that we need at least 2 repeaters worth of delay and some redstone here. So we're going to want to do this. Is this connected to anything? It's connected to the down circuit. Let's go ahead and disconnect it. Wait a minute. Yeah, we don't want the button system. Actually, yeah, we just don't want this one being active. These can stay. Okay, so we're going to want to do the same thing here. Like that. There we go. So will this be active? It does not look like it. Okay, so that's actually, that height seems to be working out pretty good. Okay, so these are all the double piston extenders we need to stop. So now we need to, let's see, let's get, so from here, what I actually need to do is, we will never need to activate floor 1. Like, it's just a dead button. You just hit it, nothing ever happens, and you go, okay, I'm going down to the floor 1. Which this is going to be floor 1. And then floor 2. And then floor 3. Okay. So we do need to activate floor 2 to stop. So floor 2 is white. So okay. And we would need it to basically come crossed. Now I may end up changing this, but actually we need it to come here. And I'm probably going to want to keep this purple. So white floor is hooked up to there. So torch. This should actually work out pretty good. It's already wiring up pretty easily. There we go. So that's that. Now we do need to hook up a T flip-flop here. So I'm going to go ahead and use the design we've been using. Which as far as resources is good, but as far as everything else is bad. If you're on like Pocket Edition or something, this would be really hard to do. We probably don't need so many repeaters. You do need one in the side here for sure. And then we're going to need one item. This is why I always keep some redstone. But I think on this case, I think I'm going to go ahead and use a button. Because that's going to be trash. So all we need to do now is activate floor 2. Now the problem is if floor 2 is active, the elevator is going to hit it. Which means it's not going to stop in the right place and it will be forever stuck. So this is something we're going to have to keep, we're going to have some kind of safety system. But just to try it, so we know if we're on the bottom floor and we hit that, it is going to stop. The problem is it needs to be reset. We only needed to sit there for a second or two just to go and stop it and then retract. So I'm actually thinking what we can do is we can take and put a chest at a certain location so that it detects the power and then it comes around and then auto resets the floor. So that way if it's coming down, it will do that. But the problem with that is if we do it right, we can get it to just basically trip it to extend. So it'll be kind of difficult. That'll be later on, I think, in the future. So let's go ahead and get let's go ahead and get blue floor going. Now I'm thinking I would like to keep these at the same level. I'm thinking it's worth costing a repeater. I think it's worth it because it's working out well. But let's see. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it worked out just like that one, except for a little better. Okay, so we want to keep this the same, right? Let's see. So that doesn't seem right. Oh yeah, no, it's right. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay, so floor blue is hooked up. We're going to compact this at some point, but for right now I think we're going to have to make this just huge just to prove the concept, because this actually may be too like if I have to start putting stuff over here, and that was the whole point, we are going to put stuff over here to actually stop it on the way down. And that's where stuff's going to get really hairy, because it could run into the same locations as like the ignition system. So right now, if we wanted to, I never hooked up this panel, huh? Go ahead and do this. We're going to need red. There we go. So let's do this up here. So black, red, white, blue, America. Yeah, we just need something to stand on for temporary so we can select our floors. So on this one, we're going to need the same thing. We're going to need our red, our power. So we basically have been doing this, which has been working out for us. And that's going to go into some redstone here. And I can actually see already that, you know, you can see it. Like, there's no way we can, you know, get the power off of there. So thankfully for us, it works out. It works out for us. It works out because we can just do this. We need 2 repeaters worth of delay at least. We actually need like 3, and that would be best. Just so we can get into the elevator. What are you trading? Crack. Ice cubes, huh? How are you supposed to find ice in the desert? They just, they have everything for the sea. Look at how much you can get for that. 5 emeralds? Damn, dude. They need to fix how these guys are holding this stuff, and you need to get the hell off my stuff. There we go. Need to back up, fool. Give us 4 delay. Actually, we don't need delay on here. We need delay here. Hella funny. I had it right the first time. Okay, so orange circuit. We're going to build that one after we figure out where this circuitry is. The orange circuit is so we can go down. So right now we're just working on stopping on the way up. Okay, so the top floor does not need this. It does not need it here. So I'm going to put an emergency floor stop. So this is where we would stop normally. So like right there. So above the floor it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to need that just in case this thing becomes a runaway elevator. We don't want it going to the moon. There we go. So if I don't activate this floor accidentally, it'll go and stop up there. But technically, we don't need any of this circuitry. But we need 2 floors hooked up to the same way to prove whether it, you know, like what's the floor spacings we can do. Right now, it looks to me like, you know, the floor spacings, we got plenty of room to be putting stuff in. We can put in another double piston extender here for the way down. So it does look like we have the way up set. So the way up's correct. Right now it should be permanently set. I'm going to go ahead and then I'm going to disconnect that line so that it just stays on for now, just that way. Actually, yeah. Okay, so now we need to basically hit, so each time we push the call button, we'll have 3 seconds to get in here, or you know, we'll have plenty of time, you know. Now technically you could just jump out on the floor you want to, but eventually I'll probably put some sort of doors or something on here. Okay, so now we do not need to stop on the floor we're on, so we only need to hook up the top floor. And we only need to do that just as a proof of concept. It's not even because it has to. Just to prove the concept of it. You can see the wiring is kind of hairy, I'm going to say. But, I mean, it works. So, when we hit that button, it would stop the top floor for us. But we don't need it hooked up. We don't. We will not need it to be hooked up. But, proof of concept, it's going straight out here. I would like it to be straight here. But, you can't always get good with these torches here. It actually says to me that probably the proper spacing that we'd want to go for floors, or at least to try for, the natural height would be probably 9 blocks. Every 9 blocks you have it. Or actually, no, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. It would actually be... It would be 1, 2, 3. So we'd actually probably want it to be like more like that. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's about 6 blocks. About the same as the elevator over there. That would be probably the best natural height. I am going to check something real quick. Okay, we've been going 2 hours, 19 minutes. I think we got this figured out. I do. I think we have it figured out. So, from the bottom floor, Say we go, okay, I want to make a stop at the white floor. So you hit the white floor, and then you hit your button. Then we go up. To white floor, right? And this is where we need to find that, figure out how to do a detection system, which isn't that hard to do. The biggest problem is that each block is going to give us a pulse. So how do we get it? Once it stops, it needs to automatically reset itself. It does. It needs to automatically reset itself. So we're safe there. So I'm going to say that the easiest way would be to... We don't want to get power from it. So what we want to do is we want to get like a chest, I think. We want to get like a chest. I'm thinking like right here would be good. And we'll throw some stuff in here. Okay. And then we're going to need an immovable block. This is going to give us a detection. So now we just need to figure out how long, because this is going to basically turn it on, off, on, off. So we probably would want to have a pulse extender, something that extends the pulse, but we don't want this thing to be really big, right? And then it needs to come in. Yeah, it needs to come in and then turn this off once it stops. So we don't want to doing it too fast, but if you watch this go by here, it's basically going to go pulse, 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 pulse like that. So when it comes through here, you're going to get the first detection. So see, like this. So this is where we could do our pulse extender. I'm actually thinking of just doing a cheap one. I mean, not cheap, but simple. This one. And just to hell of it, we're going to basically increase that strength to quite a long time. Okay. So now we just need to send it down. And I'm going to go ahead and I think we can just hit the red button for that. Or the black button. I think we can just hit that and it'll automatically... Did that not... Oh, is it not hooked up? No, it's hooked up. This goes up here. Turns this on. Should have worked. What's not hooked up? Oh, it is hooked up wrong, isn't it? No, it's right. Did I not put the torch on here? I didn't put redstone here. My bad. There we go. Okay. Okay. So it goes down. So the up and down circuits don't matter because it's just going to be, it's going to be super simple. It's something we can tile up really small, later on. Okay, so so now we just need to test this. So it's a good thing we have this floor active. So right now it's going to be giving it power no matter what. So we need to change that. So we want the elevator to come by here, but the problem that I'm seeing is that it's going to get detected every single time, which means it's going to turn this floor on every time. So, okay, so for right now, it'll only work when we're going up. So if we set the floor, we want to stop at white floor, we set the floor. Right, it extends the double piston extender. And then we go up. That turns the power on, which then shuts the double piston extender off. That was close. That was really close. We need delay here. How come this is on now? Oh, it's because it's being powered. So this is actually normal. Once we've done this, I mean, this literally can just keep on its way, and it's built in because it automatically shuts it off. So yeah, now we could just basically hit the up button. We're going down. That's something that we're gonna have to do too. Is we're gonna have to basically use the detection system to send another line of power to disable this depending on which direction we want to go, which means we're going to actually need an up and down button, unfortunately. We're going to need an up and down button. I was hoping to get away with just one button, but we're going to need a call and go down button, which means we might have to change the layout, but I was hoping to avoid it. But we're going to need an up and down. So the problem is if this was all buried, you would not know where the elevator is. But I'm going to say, because if you had doors here, right? Because we're just going to have one single door come in. But you could right now just go, okay, it's not there. There it is, you know. See. Okay, so the calling works. So technically we'd want to hit the up button to make this go down. Because we'd want to call it up to us. Right now you have to hit that. How come that didn't work? Oh, we don't have a call down button. Okay. Ooh. So it detected it, and then it extended the entire thing over. That is not okay. So we're not going to be able to use an automatic reset system. It's going to have to be something else, because that did not work at all. I kind of had a feeling it was going to do that, honestly. So I think it's crazy that it pushed everything over. A double piston extender. Okay, let's go ahead and can we push it back? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. We can rebuild it. We can rebuild it. Okay, so we should have... Whoa, Nelly. Where are you going? We should have... we should have here 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's right. 4. Got our piston. I will say one good thing is that we can use that as a okay, let me see. So that is our system. So technically the floor is risen up to, well, we need to let this go up. Is this down or up? That's up. Okay. So we can figure out where our floors are. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Yeah, that's right. So we had a glass here. You know what? I think this isn't right. Yeah, it's not right. I mean, it's right, but it's wrong. Because it should be like this. It should be like one here, And then I think I had a solid block right there. I actually think it was up higher. Let's send it down and see what happens. Yeah, you can see it's not in the right place. It needs to be one block taller. Ah, maybe not. It looks right to me. I think what it is I had it up here. So it was 3 tall. Okay. I'm not really digging this. I don't really like the way it looks. If we used a different color, it would be cool. I guess I'm just old-fashioned when it comes to... I like just the solid glass. Yeah, I would say this elevator is so slow. You could literally just jump out on the floor and then call it down to you each time. You'd be waiting either way. So I'd say it'd be much simpler just to put the floors in and just jump onto it. And that would be the simpler way. But if you actually wanted to stop for you, I mean, that's what I'm actually trying to do. So I do think, though, that we've come to the end of the road here for our stream for today. It's nice to see that we've have this working. We have the up working. The main thing would be the reset, which this cannot be done. It's nice to know the floor is here, honestly. We definitely want to know the floor is here. We do. We want to know the floor is there. But all we wanted to do is reset this, not extend when the floor is here, which pretty much means we can't use that method of detection. We might have to use like some sort of block update, or maybe even use an observer block that's traveling along the floor and hits it. There is enough room to do that, so I'm actually thinking maybe we should try that. Let me grab this stuff here. Yeah, let's try that, because I'm thinking this. I'm thinking we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks we're carrying right now. We should be able to carry a couple more. So if we have an observer pointing that way, and it comes across, right? So let me go ahead and... You can see that each time it goes by, it's going to give us one single pulse. So this would probably be the... This would probably be the best method to detect it. The problem is we'd need to know what direction it was facing. So what we'd actually probably have to do is have the observer block, like 2 of them, to... So if it stops, it's kind of like this. So if we activate white floor. Oh, that's not hooked up yet. So if we activate this floor and it stops on the right location, right? Nothing happens, right? Nothing happens here. The floor would basically be automatically shut off. We're going to go ahead and try this honestly. And then when it passes by, it should automatically engage it, which we wouldn't want to have happen. So we would technically want it to be a certain amount of delays, I think. So it comes up to the floor here. I'm gonna go ahead and use yellow now. We can just use redstone. And actually we can't. It has to be a repeater on like 3 delay. Okay, we don't really need it to be that high. I don't know why I did that. So this would ultimately be the best method if we were to do this. So what would have happened right now would have been, it would have came up and then it would have retracted as soon as it detected that. Okay? Now when it leaves, we would not want the floor to be extended. So if this is passing by, for instance, now what we could do too is we could actually have these facing, we can have one facing the other direction as well. Like we could just do this. We could have one facing the other direction. Let's go ahead and switch to another circuit since I have the idea here. Now this would have to be an immovable block. So let's make it here. So what we could do is theoretically, if it stops here, all it does is reset the floor, right? And nothing happens. But if it's traveling past, we would want it to, actually let's keep this within this area here. Excuse me. Should be perfect. Okay, so I don't know how this is going to work because we need a lot of delay. So if the elevator is traveling up, it's coming up here, you know, and it stops. This is going to get activated. Yeah, so it's going to reset the floor. And then a couple seconds later, it's going to reactivate the floor, which we don't want. So what we're going to need to do is either change, because we only want it to basically go off when, so we might need to put it like right here. And so what we actually want to have happen is, if it's coming up and it passes, wait a minute. So the elevator comes up, it hits and resets the floor. But if it keeps traveling, okay, so you know what this means? It means that, so right now if it stops right here, it's going to send a pulse, right? And then if you continue going up, it's going to extend it again. So you're going to get 2 pulses on this. When it stops, you're going to get a pulse. Then you're going to get another pulse, which means it actually does need to have a second one. Okay. So that's going to basically activate it, and then it's going to activate it again, and it's going to cause it to break. I mean, it's going to break bad. So just for now, I'm going to go ahead and stick a ton of delay on there because I kind of want to simulate this. We actually don't want to push it out again. So the floor. Whoops, my bad. I think it looks like we're going to be doing the full trial test on this. I hit the black button, not the floor. So white floor. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking this, if this thing passes by, right? If it passes by this location, we would want it to basically disengage the floor when it's leaving. So, but for right now, I think that we need to change this location. So, as right now, it's going to come up here, it's going to deactivate. So let me go ahead and do that. So we hit the down button, and it starts coming up to us. It stops, it sends a pulse through, resets the floor. Now I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this, and we're going to send it up. And it stood off, so it didn't get another pulse, so that's good. Let's send it back down. Whoops. This is right. We test these things. So it definitely clicked. It clicked it on twice. And it's going to click it on again when it goes down. So we couldn't use this. We can't use this. This has got to be something that's I think auto reset by itself. We don't want it to be reset here. What we basically want to have happen is when you set the floor, I'm going to keep it as an idea. I'm going to leave one of them on there so I know what the hell, because we might end up having to use that for something. But I think what we're going to end up having to do is we're going to end up having to have I think we're going to end up having to have it on, and then when you hit the up button, it will disable it. So basically, when you hit the up button, that's going to basically turn it off. And then a couple seconds later, or a second later, then the elevator is going to get hit here and start extending up, which would be relatively easy to do. So we could basically have our reset just on the button itself. So what would we want auto detection for? I think that the thing we could do is use it as a floor indicator. So you could see what floor the elevator's on. We could get the power excuse me, off of this using signal strength, I think. I don't know if I want to do that though. But yeah, that's the way to do it. So I'm going to kind of simulate it so I don't forget. So basically, when we activate this top floor, I'm going to just use some wool to represent it. We want it to come up and connect here. We want it to come up and connect here. So when we're going up, it will disable this device for us. Otherwise, it's going to always stay extended. And so it does mean something unfortunate, though. The way I have this wired is going to have to be changed. Yeah, we're going to have to change it. We're going to have to change it to a... we're going to have to change it so that it's like this. Basically a repeater. And we only want it to activate when we're going down. Right? And then we're going to have to use a torch here. And it's going to have to be, it would get activated here, so maybe we can't use a torch. We might have to use a piston, and which is going to require me to move this stuff here. I'm going to have to move it out of the way. I think for right now we're going to go ahead and just leave it. We'll just leave it as a... we'll leave it for now. I might just end up using a piston here. A piston that extends. Yeah, a piston that extends that. And then that comes and connects. So just to represent what we need to do so I don't forget for the next stream. Okay, so that's going to need to come up here. It's going to reset this, and then it's going to basically activate. So wait a minute. That would mean we could still use one button for this. No, we couldn't. We're gonna have to have two inputs here. We might even have to have a separate line of torch tower going, because right now when you go up, when you go up and you hit this button, it's going to activate it whether it's up or down, because that's how we set it. We set it to be up or down. So that actually should have activated that floor. Or do we not have it hooked up? Yeah, this should have went off. Did I disconnect it? Oh, I did disconnect it. I forgot. Okay. Safety first. So, yeah. So if you hit the down button, yeah, I'm actually thinking that we might actually want to make it so when you hit the button on the floor you're on, it does two things, but only on the floor we're on, which means we could get rid of the second button. So if you hit this from here, we can have power, say, branch off and connect to this. I'm going to go ahead and use light blue for this, I think. So we'll have it just kind of snake in here like so. And then that's going to connect and then going to power into this. It's very important that this torch is on the off position, so that's good. So basically my idea here is, so when you hit this button, it's going to retract that instantly. And then 4 ticks later, we'll have, yeah, this is fine. I do think, because we have the delay built in there. Okay, so let's try this let's try this. This is the only problem, that it's going to extend it right now because it's in the wrong location. So if you have like one missed step, this could actually cause a problem. Ooh, why did it extend there? It tried to extend. Okay, so let's try this in practice. So we want to go up to white floor. We hit white floor, we activate white floor. And then we didn't activate it, but we would have activated it. So I'm going to go ahead and just simulate it. There we go. So white floor would be activated. It's actually not, though. Did I lose? Oh, okay. I forgot the power here. Okay, so if we're down here and we hit this button, we travel up, it stops. It stops here. So now we hit the button, deactivating the double piston extender. We get inside and we go down. That's not right. Yeah, we are going to need an up and down button. Yeah, because we need it to basically, we need another one to push it to say go up. So right now I just got it so it can go up and then down, which is good, but it does not need to be hooked up every time. So we're going to have to rewire this. We're also going to need another one down here, which may make tileability a problem. Let's actually check this, because let's actually check. So if we wanted this to go up, the biggest problem is that this is going to come and it's going to touch it regardless. But it should never, I mean, like, it's basically only gonna touch. I don't think it can push it. I mean, it might be able to push it, but we would want another set of a double piston extender here. And it would actually need to be at that height. I've already used light blue enough. I use purple as well. Let's go yellow. So in order to do our thing here, so keeping with the theme of stuff, if we wanted this to travel up, so we would not be able to have this connected to this. Go ahead and remove that torch. So you could not, we would want to make it so that we have up and down for sure. You just have to have an up and down. So if we're going up though, all we need it to do is just basically have the up button hook to the yellow, which would basically just make it go up. But at the same time, we would want it to reset the floor. So I'm going to use this black wool to represent that so that I don't forget. So we want it to go there, and then we would want it to also go down here. And connect there. So we would want it to go like this, and we want that power to go in. You know, we don't even need this. We could just use the white line. Yeah, we could just connect it in on both. So when you hit the up button, and only the up button, you'd hit it, and that would disable the floor, right? It would send the power up here, disabling the floor. I think the biggest issue is how do we get the power there? I actually can already see like some stuff we can do. Like I could still use a torch here, but this circuit's got to be moved around. I mean, we can lift it up one, right? We can do this. It'll cost us a little bit of redstone. You know, not much, but we could do this. Right, so that floor still gets active. So when we hit the down button, we'll go down. So we want that working. So you hit this, and it goes down. So we can go ahead and add that torch in. Send this back down. Okay. So we send it down. We still have our floor active, so that's good. So now, when we hit this up button, so if it's going to come up here, it's going to stop. Now we just need to rewire this a little. I think all we need to do, we should be able to get away with it too, and that is to basically, oops. We'll have our power come out there. We can use a repeater. We don't want to use a torch here, so I'm going to have to use a piston. Like a block of redstone or something. So we'll have to have that there. We want redstone there. We kind of want to keep this in a relatively small area. And that redstone's going to power that, which is then going to in turn power this. So it'll be pretty much the same wiring. Oh, wait a minute. Why is it always powered here? That's powering that, which... Oh, I put a torch. Wow. Okay. So, yeah. So this is just going to make it come up to us. I don't know why it's not coming up to us now. Oh, wait a minute. It's because we don't have the down circuit. So we're going to have the up and down circuit hooked together, making these all go off at the same time. So if this is the down button and the down button only sends signals up, that's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah, we won't be able, we're going to have to use two separate systems for this. We're going to have to use one system for the up function, right? Which would only activate these. So right now it's hooked up correctly. But because we're trying to get power from other places and send that from the same line, we're running into problems. So each floor is hooked up correctly too. It does not need to be hooked up any differently than that. So yeah, the only thing that we need right now is basically a floor reset, which when we hit the up button, we're going to get our line to come through here and send it up. So we hit the up button and things are going to go up, but first we would need it to turn this off. So you know what, we might actually want to keep the torches here. Yeah, we're going to need to hook into that first. Yeah, we need to hook into this. Yeah, we're going to need to hook into this because we're going to need to send that power as fast as possible into this and have it reset. And then this, we're going to have to... Yeah, it's actually got to be powered from here. So we can use repeaters for that. And it's going to need to be on quite a hefty delay. Like it's got to be on a lot of delay, as much as we can give it. So this goes into there. And then we have another line, so let's see. So let's use a redstone block. So that's going to come out here. It's going to activate whatever we have in this location. So we're going to want to get our power there. It's going to come out here, touch that power. It's going to come down. It's going to hit. We're going to want to use redstone for that. And then we're going to want to have the same line. I'm going to switch colors to, I think, have we used orange yet? Have we used orange? Orange was the down circuit, wasn't it? We're going to save that. We used light blue. I'm going to say dark blue is probably our best. So we can see that these are going to be doing two different things. So yeah, so that's going to come in, deactivate this, and then this needs to come down here. But we want to get more delay. I'm thinking I want to get more, we're going to need a lot more delay on this before it sends you up. Little amber gate there. It's going to go down here. Well, we gained a repeater, now we're losing a repeater. So just to test, I mean, it's not here. This shouldn't do anything, but if it was here, this is basically what would happen. So that retracted well before, so that's good. Let's check it again. So the floor is active, and then we hit up. It retracts that, then the floor takes off. Okay, so let's try it. Oh crap. I actually forgot to set the floor first. It's okay, we'll send it back down. That's something I'm going to need to figure out. Okay, we just lost some redstone. Oh, what is that doing there? It's supposed to be an immovable. There we go. Okay. I don't know why I thought that that was going to be okay. But, so... down is up, up is down. Okay. So we would actually have done this. We would have came here, we would have been like, oh, I want to go to white floor. You hit white floor activates. Then you hit the down button or up button because you want it to come up to you. So this is where the orange circuit would come in, which would basically cause it to deactivate it again. But that would only be if we were on the floor. So right now you would only have hit it here. And if you had came up to this elevator and you wanted it to come to you, you would want it to stop on this floor regardless. So this is hooked up correctly. Problem is we also wanted to send a signal to let it know to come up. So I'm going to simulate that with this orange wool so I know what I need to have done next. So this line also needs to go down here and hook into here. Okay, so that's our wiring next right there. So that would be the next thing we'd want to do. So when you actually hit the button from up here, it's also going to call it up to you as well. So anyway, we can just do that by hitting this right now. So the floor is active. And then I'm really going to end this stream after this. So it comes up here, it stops on the floor. This gets activated for some strange reason. I don't know if you've seen that. It got activated because there's power being given through that. I think that explains a lot. A lot of these have been extending. That's crazy. I'm actually surprised it hasn't. I think because it can't push the whole thing. You know, it hasn't pushed it. But if it was pushing from the side, it would be over. Okay, so now for our test to go up to this. So we would hit blue floor, which is already active, and then we would hit the up button. It retracts that, and then nothing happened actually. Something happened. Something that broke it. Let's try this again. Okay, white floor. We hit the up button. Comes up to us, it stops. Okay, there's that. And then okay, double piston extender. So now if we want to go up, whoa, it went without. Why did it go without? Something caused it to go before it even got powered. I don't know if you've seen that. Okay, let's do this. We want it to be powered to there. Okay. Crap. Well, at least we know where we need to power this thing. You know, I'm actually thinking this could be used again as another circuit, and I'll show you guys what I think we could do if we were to hook it up. This could actually be our down circuit as well. yeah, I don't know if it would stop it. We're going to try that right now. So this should work up here. Yeah, it's one block too low. That sucks. That basically means, yeah, that sucks. Holy moly. So we're getting power off of this thing for sure. Off of here. I think the reason why we haven't ran into problems with this one is because, I mean, no matter what we do, we're gonna get power off of this, unfortunately. So each time these pass by here, it gets power off of them. So, to simulate again what's going to happen. Okay. Now I'm tempted to just break this thing. Okay, I hit that the wrong way. So when this extends, it's going to send an extra pulse that screws everything up. So maybe if we put it on a little bit more delay, it'll help. Because it's going to get a pulse. Right when this actually goes, it causes it. So I actually think that we can get rid of this. I don't think we actually need this here. I think what we could actually do is just power. I did this with the other elevator. The one I made on that other map, the one I didn't want it to. What you can actually do is you can actually just power it here and it will cause it to go. So we just need a lot of delay here. We might need even more delay. So we have, what is that? 15 ticks there. And there's another 18 ticks. That's 18 ticks. We have plenty there. So when we hit this button now, this should actually do it for us. And it's going to give us a little bit of extra delay. So we hit the button. There we go. That's all we need to do right there. I forgot that when you're going to send it up, all you need is the yellow circuit there. You don't actually need a double piston extender to do it. I can't believe I didn't remember that. So just in case we decide to build this legitimately, go up another floor. Okay, well I think I'm happy with that. We actually now have a functioning up method. We've been working on an up and down method, and you can't do that. It just can't. You got to have a up and you got to have a down. So getting them on this is going to be convoluted, but I mean, just so something as simple as this, just a tileable circuit will work. You know, it will work. So right now we can get it to come down to us by hitting this, and that's going to be our next problem, which is we actually need to stop, I think, right there. So let's call it down to us. We hit the down button, it comes down. Well, at least it stops it. I think that we could definitely put a double piston extender there to stop it. But there's no way we're putting it in on this side. Yeah. It's not in the right location neither, is it? Oh no, it's perfectly. I guessed on that too. So that's where we want to go down at. So see, down's going to be orange. So that's going to be to stop on the way down. So we need a double piston extender there. I have a feeling it's going to cause an issue when we, well, we're just going to be extending it. So it's literally just going to be power. Like this. Wait a minute. Oh, you know what? The double piston extender has to be right here. So, well, I could power it from the side. Yeah, because the piston's going to need to be there. So it's going to need to be right there. There we go. So that's going to go into there. And that'll be our double piston extender. We're going to need our orange circuit. So I think on this one, we're just going to do the classic. The classic. I think we can actually do this. I think, from what I remember, no, it's like this. So you just do 2. You do a block here. Yeah. And so this is our input block, which technically doesn't need anything. It just needs power. Goes through. Yeah, this will work. I'm going to destroy this. We're going to go ahead and check this for stopping. I think that the biggest problem that we're going to see here is that if this thing stops, you know, if it's going to stop. And I did all that just to screw it up again. Yeah, if this thing stops here, there's no way, like, I mean, I guess if you hit the down button, you could basically disactivate this or deactivate it. But right now, I mean, it's getting pretty complicated. So you come down here, the double piston extender stops it. Maybe we use the detection system now, but it would go off when it's up. Yeah. So we cannot stop it with a double piston extender there, which is actually fortunate for us. It's actually fortunate. So this is the sweet spot right there. So when I say fortunate, I mean like because of where it's located, we're gonna have to power it from over here. I mean, I'd like to do it here, but then we gotta redo all this wiring, which I probably should anyway. But I think for right now, we're just gonna have it come off of here because this is actually starting to get to a point where I'm going. This is gonna take a couple months of work to do it. So actually, this needs to be over one. Alright, so now we need obsidian, and we want to keep our orange. So obsidian here. Do the same old circuit we've been using. We only need it for an extension, so we do need to power it though here. Actually, so we can stay and hang out with the cool kids, I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. So that extends. And I put it in the wrong location. It's okay though. Let me go ahead and hit down. Okay, so that's a problem. Yeah, I actually know exactly what we need to do though. We're gonna have to stop it where this is, so that means we want it to be actually let's go ahead and let's activate the white floor. Activate our white floor, And then we can see exactly where we'd want to stop it. So we don't want to stop it here because it's just going to trigger it. We want to stop it from here. Okay. Now I do think that this is still going to get some sort of power. So I don't know how this is going to affect things. I might even just be able to send power here to get it to go. It does look like it's the same place we're going to get power. So it may cause it to just basically stop when it's active. So we should probably check that. Let's go ahead and use a repeater. So right now, yeah, I mean, we could do something like this to kind of steer it away so it doesn't power directly through. We could try it. I know the double piston extender screws up when you do it though. So let me go ahead and send this up. So up button. What was that block doing there? Oh, that's right. I actually am powering this from the wrong spot. I just realized that. Good thing that it took that block away from me. Yeah, we have to power it here. So I have a feeling what's going to happen is this is going to come by, this piston's just going to get powered, and then bam, that's it. Now, let's see. Let's see if that happens here, though. It's still going to get powered. I mean, there's no half slab immovable object, so we're kind of screwed when it comes to this. I mean, unless we want to get rid of that power. Or we could try and power it from the side. I'm actually curious, can we power this piston and get it to go as well? Up and then down. It's kind of cool that it's actually got arrows on it. Okay, so this is not going to work. It's going to, as soon as that piston touches, it's just going to go vroot and stop. But that might be something good because we could do this. If we stop it, it should be in the same position. We need to stop it in the exact same position. So if we were to say have power, I'm going to say power here. And we send this down. It stops it on the floor. Now, I don't know though, because as soon as I let this go... Well, that's actually awesome. I wonder if we could just use one block to stop it anywhere. Seriously, I mean, if all it was to stop it temporarily on this floor, what happens when we come up? What happens when it comes up? Does it stop in the same place? Oh man, I think we just figured out some stuff. It block updates it, unfortunately. But I could tell you right now that when we do this... Oh, okay. Well, that's not good. So on the way up, this doesn't work. What about if we powered it here? Yeah, I'm starting to think we could probably just use 2 blocks of power that are powered on the on position. So on the way down, maybe here. Let's see here. Yeah, on the way down, this one stops it, sends it back up. So That's really the thing, is figuring out which ones. So on the way down, we would probably want it to go here. So I mean, this is perfect because, you know, you set the floor you want to stop on the way down, right? You have to have a separate circuit anyway. So you basically power it. That goes into it. And then when it comes to whether you want to go back up or not, you basically either simultaneously, because I think when we drop this, it just keeps going. So that's basically it. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this because I think we've just done it. We've done it, people. We've done it. We figured out a super easy and simple way to stop this thing. So this is to stop on the way down, right? Or is it way up? And this was on the way. We technically, I think it's in the same locations. We actually need to test this. Okay, so which one's up? This one should stop at one more floor. Oops, wrong button. Why did it stop? Oh, there's why. Boop. Boop, boop, be-doop. Okay, so that's going to stop it way short because it hits this piston. So, well, maybe we could stop it. So it's updated right now. But maybe we could, let's see. I'm going to have to try it again, but if it's a block that needs to be powered from above and the top, that's actually pretty easy to do because you can power it like this and you can power it from up above. Relatively easy. So we don't need this one. This one's garbage. So on the way down, it was this one, I think. Okay, so let's send it down. Stops perfectly. And then when you disengage the power, it goes back down. So now we need to figure out how do we get it to stop on the way up. I think that this is the one. Actually, that's going to make it stop sooner. We need it to stop later. Let's try it up here. So on the way down, so down is this one. Go ahead and mark that. Yeah, down is that one. And I believe up is this one. So let's go ahead and call it down to us, or call it up to us, sorry. So it travels up. Stops perfect. So there we go. That's our stuff right there. So we need power here for up. Ooh, that's not good. Maybe I need to power the block directly. In that case, this would actually be kind of difficult. Well, I could power it on one side or the other as well. But knowing it is the thing. So now that it's been powered, if I was to just let it go, what happens? Okay, so on the way up, which one was it? It was this one on the way up. So we power that block on the way up, and it stops. Oh, this is the wrong one. It's the other one. It's that one. Nope, it's not that one. Oh, I have power going here. my problem there. Okay. On the way down, well, I mean, that does kind of suck, but I mean, none of this is necessary. Actually, it is necessary, dang it. It is. Damn it, Bobby. Because we want it to go up, but if we can figure out how to stop it, by just simply powering a spot, this is going to make this thing so much simpler to do. So much simpler. Okay. Okay, that stops it perfectly. And then when you deactivate it, though, it just keeps going. The down's covered. I mean, going down, stopping it on the way down is covered. Now I'm going to actually switch this to lime green. So if we power this spot, then yeah. So all we need to do now is power this spot. And I mean, if this works, I think the only problem that we're going to run into is that on the way up, that's our only problem. Is that when it stops here, it doesn't actually, and if so, okay, so, Kareem Mohammed, and if so, in your early days of redstoning, how did you connect them? What are you talking about? How did I connect what? Are you talking about the wiring diagram that I'm doing here? Because we don't need these double piston extenders now that we've figured out how to power this. We don't need any of this, actually. We don't need none of this. All this can go. It's all garbage, honestly, and it is kind of convoluted. I was saying that before. So we don't need any of that. We don't need this. We will probably still need the yellow circuit, though. But yeah, we don't need these. Which is a good thing, honestly. It's a good thing. We don't need this one. There we go. And we probably can get rid of this button as well, which will be good for us. Okay, what's this doing? Okay, I'm going to leave that because we do need to remember. Because I think we're going to need to hit this for the takeoff. Because when we disengage this, it just basically pulses up, but it doesn't go anywhere. Which I think we would need to basically have this come in. There we go. Good thing I put that safety up there, huh? Well, that thing would be on its way to the moon. Okay, so you say... Okay, so... Kareem... You say, yeah, less clutter? Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, we've just figured out how to stop this thing. So below the floor... below every floor... These two blocks... have now become sacred. Seriously, they're sacred blocks now. Because one, when powered on the way down, will stop it. And then this one, the green block is on the way down. So if I power this now, and you send this by activating it, you send it down. it's going to automatically stop in the right spot, right? And then once we're done, say we come over here and we hit this button, it's going to basically just turn off this power, which is then going to make it go down smoothly. Then we can get rid of this. Yeah, which is pretty sweet, I think. I think it's pretty sweet. I mean, that's hella easy. Hella easier. We might still need this here, but I'm gonna disconnect it because there's no reason to have it. Yeah, but we still need our orange circuit, so I'm gonna leave that there. So we will need that to basically reignite it, I think. But yeah, I think that this is the way right here. This is totally the way. We don't need. I mean, this thing does not have to be that big at all. This is just going to be a game changer. I mean, honestly, we should probably do it from this side. Yeah, yeah. I think I'd like to have all the circuitry over here, though. Yeah, it'll work. It'll work. It'll definitely work. And I kind of want to keep. I wanted to stay away from the up and down. I wanted to just do it, you know, automatically. But I think no matter what, we're gonna have to have an up and down button. But for right now, I mean, we're cool. This is gonna be nice. So on the way up, if we hit this one, right, and you send it up to you, and it stops on the way up. This is our only problem here, is that when you shut this off, it doesn't automatically take off. Within a little bit of time, we would need this to basically be powered. So pretty easy, though, I'm gonna say, honestly. And that will send it back up. Then you stop on the floor you want to stop on. And then I think if you wanted to, you could actually power this. And then it will actually have the opposite. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually going to be a lot simpler. Yeah, that's going to be so much simpler. I think that that's going to be the way to do it right there. Yeah. We're still going to need to basically restart the engine. But, yeah, none of this is needed. None of it. We will need these towers, but they can be a lot closer. And then I can switch this back, I think. I think, honestly, I mean, we are going to need an up and down button. When we stop it on the way down, we're going to want to use that one. Then when we're stopping on the way up, we're going to want to do this one. The whole sending a pulse and then having it quickly. I do think that it might be better off. We might be better off using a double piston extender on the way down. Just because I will say that this is great because we can stop it. We can stop it now whenever we want to, but you can't choose whether you go up or down. So we're probably still going to have to use a double piston extender. We just won't need it on the way up. The way up seems to be the best one, like when you do this. So if I was to basically hit the white circuit and then have a T flip-flop activate this, and then at the same time it sends a signal down sending this up to us, it's just going to stop right there. And then, you know, literally you just, oh wait a minute, this is the wrong, I think I did the wrong one. Yeah, you do that. I wonder if they could stay. Yeah, you turn that off and then do this. Yeah. So it's the way down then that's the best. Because Yeah, it's the way down that's the best. Because these would have to be simultaneous. Like, we would want it to be like... We'd want it to be like this, kind of. Yeah, we'd want it to be a little bit delayed. So, like, basically you'd want to activate it, and then when this deactivates... Oh, that didn't work. Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, I gotta end this live stream here. I do think that this is definitely the way to do it. I just need to figure that out. I think that this one's the best, though. On the way down, if you stop this piston, if you stop that piston there, on the way down, it's just smooth. And I'll show you that, so it comes down and it just stops. Boop. And then when you release it, automatically goes down to the next floor. That's the best one. This one right here, I think we need to find another location to stop it on the way up. I actually think that the best place would be to stop it, because you can stop it right on the bud. You can stop it right on the bud. I'll show you that. So, I think the bud goes, let's just guess. Okay, so we send it up to us. Yeah. You can stop it right where the bud is, and then when you turn the power off, nothing happens. So I think that this would be a better way to stop it, because it actually is updated. It's a better way to stop it on the way up. So I think that we would actually want... I'm going to actually mark this location. Do you ever play the Bedrock edition, or you just rather stay on Java? Actually, I have the Windows 10 version, which is the same. I have some. I just made an elevator that works over there. And I can tell you right now that from what I've seen, almost all of my elevators work over there. Piston elevators work flawlessly. It's just they're really expensive to make, so not a lot of people want to do them for survival. Okay, so we just stopped this on the way down. On the way up, we would want it to stop here. So I think that this would be the best location to stop it. And then we would just need to basically give it another charge. Yeah. So let's go ahead and send it down. And I'm going to activate this. Yeah, it dead stops it, and then it could be deactivated, and then all you have to do is have a piston come and touch it right here. Like, all you'd have to do when you're ready to take off, just go boop, and it sends it back up. I don't like having to have two processes on the way up, but it's definitely going to do it. This should work. This should work on the Bedrock edition. It should. It's the flying mechanics work. All of this stuff works. The only thing you can't do, and I'm not using. If you notice, I'm not using any monostables. The flying machine should work in Windows 10. So for the end of the stream, I'm going to go ahead and just, we're probably the next video I do is going to be part 1, building a flying. I guess it would just be building a new or building a modern, multiple floor elevator. So let me go ahead and let's go ahead and jump onto. Let me go ahead and I am just gonna basically bring this up for a sec, and then I'm gonna go ahead and close this. Yeah, it looks like it does. Yeah, no, it's working good. I'm actually happy with it. I spent almost 4 hours figuring that out, but originally I thought I'd have to use double piston extenders, but I never thought about just stopping the actual blocks or the bud itself. So we can definitely do that. So I am curious if this will actually work though on the, was it Bedrock edition? Is that what we're looking for here? I don't know if they're the same, the Bedrock edition. I'm just starting up the Windows 10 edition. Okay, gonna see my desktop. There really isn't anything on here. Yeah, there really isn't anything on here. Let's see if there's anything that's, yeah, everything's okay. Alright, so that's off. Okay, so now I just need to do this, and then this, and then, yeah, we're recording it. Okay, oops. So let's check it. Let's check what you're talking about. Because I'm in full screen, I had made these a second ago, but I think we can go ahead and I'm pretty sure slime. Okay, so we got all 3 of these that we need. This should be enough to make a flying machine. We do need some blocks. Let me go ahead. I think I actually have some already. I'm going to go ahead and just grab... Alright, I'm going to need to... We don't want this thing flying into space, right? I also need to basically, let me see, game settings. We need to go to video. Full screen mode, no. There we go. Now I can see what's going on. Okay. Alright, so there we go. Alright. Okay, resume game. Okay, we want our block update to be right there, so. Alright, so we want to, oh, we need a sticky piston as well. Let's see, inventory. We got redstone. How do I get, oh, there it is. Okay, so we need a sticky piston. Yeah, okay, so sticky piston. We technically need an observer, slime block with a piston on it, then another piston with the slime block here, and then 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do 4, and then we'll do this. We'll do, actually, yeah, we'll do this. So there's that's our floor. where we'd be riding. And let's see if it goes up. It should hit this. So, is it not working? Oh, I forgot one. There's got to be one here. Why is it not doing that? Is it got to be placed first? Yeah. Okay. All right. Actually, I did that. Oh, don't double break them. Okay, there we go. Nope, you bastard. I forgot how to do it. It's okay. It's been a long time since I played the Minecraft version of this. I mean, not Minecraft, but the. Okay, so that should be our flying machine. So now we just need to. Yeah, it works. It does look like we might actually be able to... Yeah, it should work. I'm supposed to have a flying character, but it's not showing up. Where the hell is my flying character? Whoa! Well, that's not working, huh? The struggles of Windows. Yeah, this is why I stopped playing Xbox One version, because this should work. Honestly, it should work. It should work fine. Yeah, there's definitely issues going on here. You know what? I think I might have this wrong. I think it might need to be like this. So I shouldn't blame it. Yeah, maybe that doesn't look right. I think I had it right before. Oh, I just busted the observer. You piece of shit. What is going on there? Well, this obviously doesn't work on this. Maybe in the future? You know? Maybe in the future it'll work. I don't know why it doesn't work. It should work. Oh, it's like just completely screwed now. This powers the piston. Oh, is it the wrong way, the piston? It is. It's supposed to be that way, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. I wonder why it wasn't working. It's fighting itself. It's supposed to be the down. Yeah, you ain't gonna get this working on here. There might be another way. There might be another way. I think what they used to do is like they used to have like that, and you even touched it. Like if this gets active. Oh yeah, that has to be a slime block. Well, that's garbage. Who will win? They're fighting each other. Okay, well, you could always make this thing, which does actually work on here. I wonder why my flying guy isn't showing up. Let me actually see something here. Is it under? It'd be under video, right? Full screen. Hide hand. No. Hide paper doll. What the hell's a paper doll? Hide hood. No. Screen animations. Yes. Show autosave icon. No. View bobbling. Yeah, I want to see myself running. Field of view can be altered. Where do I adjust where you see the guy? Or maybe it only works when you're maybe it only works when you're actually on the ground. Yeah, because you can't tell if you're crouching or not. And there's usually that little guy on the side there. It's okay, I'll figure out what happened. So let's see here. Those ain't working, but this does. Okay. There you go. Nice and easy. Pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, that one works. That does not work. There's some other ones you can make with, I think it's with redstone pistons, or redstone, like I don't remember actually. I know that this should work, like as an update, when you touch it. Like this should update. It's supposed to update. Yeah, this should update. If you even touch it, it should butt it out. Maybe there isn't horizontal buttings, huh? Yeah, I love it. It looks like more than a slime block elevator. Yeah, it's definitely harder, for sure. But I will say that it's fun if you ever built models. You know, if you ever built a model, they work. It looks crazy. It looks daunting. It looks like a lot of stuff, but it's not as. There's about, if you look at each color is its own circuit. So you got, this is the speed control. Purple is basically it does piston animation. The red circuit is the up circuit. The green circuit is the down circuit. And then all of them come to control this, which is its power supply. Basically, it's basically like it's the best way to put it. This is basically like well, yeah, it's basically like it's like a power plant. But I did a video on this though. I mean, so you don't have to wait for it. It's an instant call. So it does that. And then it will retract, you know, not instantly, but a lot faster than if you were and it seems to work pretty good on here, especially on Xbox for some reason. You can like twist around and stuff. It's pretty nice. It's a simple, I mean, it's a simpler design. I mean, this one's actually more simple. But it has the terrible piston animation. So to show you that again, watch when it goes down. See how one piston is extended longer? Now watch this one when it goes down. It's worth the extra space. Yeah, it's nice. Okay. Alright. Well, I do appreciate you guys you know, coming out to watch today. Um I definitely I definitely had some fun, and we did learn some stuff on some modern elevator stuff. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and have a good one.